Public works being the biggest debtor, the 32 million, of which 25 million is due to unregistered properties and in dispute. National Public Works, 193,000. LIDA, the Limpopo Development Agency, 1.7 million. And then the National Department of Rural Development, 3.7 million. That makes up the 38 odd million that's due, of which a significant portion is in dispute due to unregistered properties. Status of our debts, I think I've touched on that. Then there's also debt due to the AG of around 20,000, which is linked to accrued interest. And then also the Eskom account. The current status is that it owes 324,000 as at end of January, and it's not a water service authority and doesn't have water debts. In terms of audit outcomes, it was unqualified the previous 2 financial years. Unfortunately, last year it got qualified, so it regressed. And I think the AG will talk more on that, Chair, so I won't go into issues on that. I have seen it in the report, but it's also around the completeness of their revenue and the cash flow management. In terms of unauthorized, irregular and fruitless expenditure, we have seen a reduction from just over 420 million in 2019-20 down to 725,000 for unauthorized in 21-22, and certainly that's a positive move, and I think that strategy is starting to bear fruits. And as we've reported previously, it was dysfunctional impacts, but certainly now been functional, and the committees and council is now functional, and this is evidence of that also. The municipality is one of the top 10 UIF expenditure contributors in the province for the past 2 years, but certainly seen a reduction around that now. Non-submission of the UIFW expenditure monthly reports hinders the effective monitoring of the progress in implementing the reduction strategy. Key financial management, use of consultants. This is an area that we're working on a province quite hard to reduce, and there is continuous use of our consultants to prepare the financial statements. And even with that, we did see a regression in the audit outcome, and you'll see the amounts there. In 21-22, total amounts of consultants that was used was just on 72 million. That includes all consultants, engineering services, also not just for financial statements. And as we can see, the reduction strategy has not worked in this municipality, and that's an area that we're working on with them into the new financial year. Support provided. We have had our midterm engagements with them in February, and following the key observations, the municipality is in good health. It's certainly better than when it was declared dysfunctional. Commitment in implementation of the MSCO reforms is certainly there. All executive management posts except the position are vacant as at the 31 of January 2023, and I think that's a key concern for us to stabilize the municipality, and I think that will also come through in Coghsta presentation. Non-compliance to MFMA section 65(2)(e) that the credits aren't paid within the 30 days. Low spending on capital projects, and this is certainly a concern. Only 12% of the budget was spent at mid-year. Illegal dumping and old fleet or lack of budget to extend refuse services to our rural areas and aging infrastructure is also a concern within the municipality. It appears that the municipality does not implement advices as provided and also does not engage other sector departments to assist areas where they are lacking, especially around the dumping sites and environmental issues with our economic and environmental department. The province provides quarterly feedback on the municipal budget implementation. We also provide training to our bid committees or their bid committees to improve compliance with SCM prescripts. And we've trained the MPAC and portfolio committees on finance on interpretation of MFMA related reports, and also reviews and provide support of the staff tariff setting and the GVR reconciliation and other accounting in-year reconciliations. We attend municipal governance structures, the MSCO committee, audit committees, risk committees, and audit steering committees to provide guidance on technical matters. Induction sessions held with audit committees and MPACs, as well as portfolio-based training for finance and MPAC members, various training sessions at institutional and individual level for the municipal officials and councillors. We also had various governance structures that were used to provide the state affairs of municipalities, guidance on areas of focus, technical and governance matters. We do chair the Provincial CFO Forum for all our municipalities, the UIFW Reduction Forum, and then our honorable MECs also have what we call a MUNMEG meeting where the two MECs chair, and we meet with all the relevant mayors in our municipalities to then discuss issues. Before those meetings, we have technical meetings on a similar basis with the two HDs chair to then inform the meeting with the MECs. Appointment of senior managers. The municipality has not recorded 100% filling of the post at this for the past 5 years, and that is a concern as raised earlier. Key positions are vacant, such as the CFO, technical services, corporate and community services, and planning. The municipal manager post is filled. However, the municipality did not submit an appointment file as per legislative requirements. As a result, the department could not determine compliance with the appointment process. And the municipality was informed on the 1st of December to revise the report within 14 days, but back to the Department of Coghsta. No response was received to date. The municipality has not submitted requests or files to MEC on the appointments of acting senior managers as per legislative requirements, and the municipality has also not filled the posts of manager supply chain and project management. And I think this is one of our very key challenges, is around the vacancy of these key positions in our municipality to ensure sustainability. Then there's also non-adherence to the regulation appointment of senior managers in terms of the previous CFO was appointed even though she did not meet the minimum requirements. Intervention. The department has conducted a workshop on the Municipal Systems Act as part of the capacity support regarding appointment of senior managers. As you know, the new requirements are now up there, and that has been shared and training has been provided. In terms of our mixed spending, also an area of concern. As at the end of the 21-22, you'll see there we had quite a bit of unspending money, around 68 million over the let me call it the 4 financial years, of which only 32 million was approved as rollover. And for the current financial year, we would only spend 14.7% as at the end of February, unspent amount being 52 million. And that is a concern for us, and we are at risk of losing the money here too. In fact, we've already received a possible stopping of funds for the MIG. The municipality has received for stopping of 16.3 million. And that is certainly not favorable for us, and something that we need to work on much closer with the municipality. In terms of civil engineering support, we provided technical and project management support for the planning and implementation of projects. We assessed the proposed projects and drafting of technical reports for MIG registration and carry out project designs. MISA technical support was provided towards the following projects. I won't go through them, but they're listed there. So we've got MISA support in the Lepelle-Nkumpi. And we've also assisted the PMU with project management and construction monitoring on projects which are at implementation stage. Electrical engineering, we've also got MISA that provides technical support during the planning implementation of the electrical infrastructure grant projects, both through preparation of business plans, project implementation, and project management of the INEP funded projects. MISA developed terms of reference for INEP funded projects presented in terms of reference for the Municipal Bid Specification Committee for advertisements. In terms of town planning, supporting the municipality with implementation of Pluma and associated projects, MISA providing technical support with the establishment of the Municipal Planning Tribunal and Municipal Appeal Authority, and support offered thus far include developing in terms of reference, assessment reports required in terms of Regulation 2.2 of Pluma regulations, operational procedures and item to council. Support provided on the funding applications for spatial development framework and planning projects, and support offered thus far include developing business plans and preparation of funding required applications for DPSA and GIS systems. In terms of challenges, again, the vacant position in the technical service is a key challenge, and the lack of an annual and preventative infrastructure maintenance plan is also a gap that needs to be addressed. Interventions we've supported through the MISA and Coghsta until the vacancies in the technical department are filled. We are advised that those were advertised on the 3rd of March, and we hope that they'll be filled soon. And then also municipalities applied for roads and stormwater master plan under the DBSA local government and support program. In terms of spatial planning and land use, for the land use schemes, the Lepelle-Nkumpi land use scheme is in line with the Pluma guidelines, is complete, and the final draft is in place and is currently undergoing municipal processes for adoption and gazetting. The STF is due for review in line with Pluma guidelines. The bylaws are in place and currently being implemented. And the municipal planning tribunals, the municipality was part of the Capricorn district municipal planning tribunal, which has been sent up. And in terms of the office lapsed in August 2022, and the district informed all participating municipalities to establish respective municipal planning tribunals, and it could no longer be coordinating the district municipal planning tribunals. Lepelle-Nkumpi is now in the process to establish own independent municipal planning tribunal, and is undergoing the municipal processes currently before council resolves on the establishment of the independent municipal planning tribunal as per Pluma. The district planning tribunals, as we've said, that has ended in August 2022, and we're now establishing independent municipal planning tribunals in our municipalities. Let me skip that. On LED strategies and implementation of community work program, the LED and tourism strategy is in place. Projects in the LSD strategy not implemented due to budgetary constraints. And the LED forum is functional. The Lepelle-Nkumpi municipality is implementing the community work. The actual participants are 1,262 as at the end of February. And the municipality is currently reviewing the 23-24 IDP, and the draft will be noted by council on the 30th of March. Council and council committees are held in line with the adopted schedules of meetings and rules of order of council. The community feedback meetings are not held on a monthly basis as prescribed, and certainly that is a challenge that we need to deal with. In terms of interventions, we've supported the municipality in the development of ward operational plans, and will be training towards committee secretaries within the 30 wards and the 9 local government seat accredited modules before the 31st of March. It is then recommended that the portfolio committee note the report and the status of Lepelle-Nkumpi, and certainly the improvement of the status as reported, and I think will be confirmed through other reports. Thank you very much, Chair.
Thank you very much.
Chair.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah, we didn't see the HOD. We only heard the voice.
That becomes a message for all the presenters now to say we would like to see you when you are presenting. We're now moving to the next presentation, and we are going to be strict in terms of the 10 minutes. my officials are going to inform me when there's 1 minute left, and I would advise the presenter to round up with that 1 minute. We have a delegation here from the Auditor-General's office, led by Mr. Stephen Khaledi, who is a business unit leader. I would hand over to him, and he will introduce the other delegates he's going with. You only have 10 minutes, I'm sorry. Over to you.
Thank you very much, Honorable Chair, and greetings to yourself and to honorable members. Greetings to the Honorable MEC as well, the Executive Authority of the municipalities, the accounting officers, and the colleagues. Honorable Chair, we will try and fit within the 10 minutes that you have prescribed for us. We have prepared a presentation, but maybe before, let me talk to the delegation that I come with. So it is myself, Stephen Khaledi, as you have already outlined, the business unit leader in Limpopo. And I am with my deputy, Mr. Mohamed Essa, who is my deputy. And then we have the engagement manager who was doing the audit, being Molatelo Magongwa. And we also then have our parliament liaison, Makopoi, Griffith, as you know her, as well as Catherine Khrovia from our side, Chair. Chair, we have prepared a presentation which we have already circulated. That presentation, Chair, would cover the outcomes, would also cover our reflections on the quality of the AFS, our performance reporting, which links with service delivery. We'll also look at the financial health, together with the irregular expenditure and the consequence management around thereof. Then we close it off, Honorable Chair, with a summary of the key message that we have lifted.
Network. Maybe we can excuse you to switch off the video.
Oh, all right. Okay, I will do that, Honorable Chair. Is it much better? And then we will close out with the recommendations. If you allow, Chair, Honorable Chair, I'll at this point then give over to Molatelo Magongwa, the engagement manager, to take us through the presentation within the remaining minutes that I would have spared, Honorable Chair. Thank you very much. Molatelo, you can take the committee through the presentation. Thanks.
Thank you very much, Stephen, and good morning to everyone. Good morning to the members of the Portfolio Committee and the colleagues. Yeah, my presentation is as follows. The first slide is the cover page. Then we move on to the next slide, which covers our mission and vision, where we indicate that we have a constitutional mandate to strengthen, because we exist to strengthen our country's democracy by enabling oversight and accountability and governance in the public sector through auditing, and thereby we are building public confidence. And I'll then go to the next slide on accountability ecosystem. On the accountability ecosystem, what we are highlighting there is that we have a network of stakeholders, and as we have indicated in our mission, we focus on enabling oversight and accountability. And the success of the accountability ecosystem needs this network and as a group or as individuals, so that we work together and we will then be able to win. Then I will move to the next slide, which is on the 5-year audit outcomes, which shows that in 17-18 and 18-19, the municipality was qualified. And then in 19-20 and 21, we moved out of the qualification. But then in 21-22, the municipality got qualified again. Then I'll talk on the qualification areas when we go to the slide that speaks about that. Then this is the slide where we talk about the quality of financial reporting. If you look at the colors, we have the yellow there under financial management controls. where we are concerned about in year-end monitoring and review and monitoring of compliance. Then I have already indicated then the middle colors there, or the middle blocks there, indicate the unmodified coming from prior year and the modification in the current year, which is 21-22. And the main areas, we have other revenue where management passed journals, and after processing, then there were material differences and we couldn't get support for the differences that were identified. Then cash flow statement was also one of the areas, and is mainly on receipts and payments where they did not calculate correctly. And the third area is the statement of budget and comparison, where they did not put in figures correctly. And the municipality got an opportunity to rectify, but the F still came back with errors. And we are saying the main drivers for the qualifications are inadequate reviews by senior management, inadequate reconciliations between the Fs and supporting schedules, lack of supervision over the newly appointed consultants on financial reporting. And we are also saying the AC was not afforded adequate time to review the Fs due to the late submission of the Fs to the AC. Then the next slide is on performance planning and reporting. This is your service delivery. So there is also a regression there. There was a material indicator on waste collection where when you look at the planning document. Sorry?
This lady, Tori, is your Standard Bank. She specializes in agriculture. I think it's essential that you call.
We lost the presenter, Chair.
Can you hear me, Honorable Chair?
I can hear you.
All right. Perhaps I can take it where she left.
Okay.
It looks like the network and the load shedding are dealing with
That's a problem. Yeah.
Okay, I see I was muted.
Oh, she's back.
Yes.
Okay.
I don't know where you lost me. Was it on the slide on the modification on the financials, the previous slide, or was it when I was starting with performance?
It was when you were starting with performance. Yeah.
Okay, thank you very much. Yes, on performance, what has happened is there were differences between the planning document and the annual performance report, where the indicator and the target were not coined in a manner that they are consistent with each other. So as a result, that resulted in a material misstatement. And we also looked at the achievement of the planned targets, where we are saying, looking at 21-22, the municipality only achieved 17% of their planned targets. And when we made inquiries with management, there was the indication was there was late appointment of service providers, and some bids were not responsive. And in some areas, there was an indication of budget constraints. So this, as a result, impacts on the services or projects, capital projects that could have been constructed in order to benefit the citizens. So in our call to action on service delivery, we are saying the leadership of the municipality should adequately plan for procurement, affording all processes to run adequately on time in order for the municipality to finalize procurement and still meet their service delivery timelines. And again, we are saying the municipality must implement enhanced financial recovery plans to ensure that there is adequate cash flow to meet their planned service delivery initiatives, because there was also an indication that there were instances of budget constraints. Then on the issues on the APR, where we say there were inconsistencies between the planned target and the indicator, we are saying the main drivers there are is really the issue of inadequate reviews. And if there could be proper reviews, then during the planning stage, before indicators and targets are finalized, so that management can ensure that they speak to each other. And again, we are also saying when submitting the APR to the AC, they need to afford the AC adequate time. Okay, then we move on to the next slide. The next slide is on financial health analysis. We have indicated the revenue, expenditure, and the impact. Under the revenue part, we are saying under financial health, then they received a total of 275 on equitable share and 54 on conditional grants. And of the amount again received, we have 135 that relates to own revenue. But what is also of concern there is the issue of impairment of debtors, because we are providing a service, but we are not really collecting enough on debtors. And if you look, we are saying the actual impairment at year end was 469 million. So meaning that money is locked in the debtors. If this money is collected, then it can be further used for service delivery. Then regarding expenditure, we have salaries and wages amounting to 96, fruitless and wasteful is in the regions of 10,000, and creditors pay period is 52 days. And at year end, we are saying the creditors represented 4% of the available cash and cash equivalent. And whilst we still have concerns on repairs and maintenance, and even the Provincial Treasury touched on that when you look at repairs and maintenance, is only 1% of your PPE, which is far less than the 8% norm. And then the issue of us not recovering on our debtors, you will see that it is impacting on our current liabilities, because right now at year end, we were in a position where we say next year's budget is already going to fund 24% of the current liabilities. And regarding unauthorized, we incurred 22 million of unauthorized, which is a movement in the current year. And also take note that this unauthorized is mainly your non-cash items. And regarding the vacancies at the municipality, we have an overall vacancy rate of 20%, whilst the vacancy rate in the finance unit is standing at 21%. Regarding the next slide, irregular expenditure and consequence management. In the year under review, we have irregular expenditure amounting to 34 million, whilst the closing balance is 426 million. And what contributed to the irregular, we are also saying they have breached the 5 pillars of the procurement pillars. And the nature of findings that we have picked up are on local content, and where awards were made to suppliers that did not have their tax matters in order. And our concern there is, if we are not tightening the controls around local content, at the end, our local manufacturers may not benefit and be able to participate in economic activities where they should have been prioritized. And regarding the tax issues, we say municipality should not continue doing this, because in a way it's like the municipality is encouraging the non-compliance with the tax matters, and as a result, the tax collections overall then do get affected. Then how the leadership dealt with irregular expenditure. What has happened is, in 1920, management appointed Bowman to conduct an investigation into the SCM irregularities in the municipality, and the investigation resulted in an official being dismissed. Some of the officials went for disciplinary hearings, and they are still with the municipality, but there were measures that were put in place based on the Baumann report. However, we still have irregular expenditure coming from prior year amounting to 392 million, which still needs to be investigated and finalized so that the municipality can take appropriate steps based on the investigation. So that is the story on irregular and consequence management. Then the next slide is key message matters for the attention of the portfolio committee. We are saying basic financial disciplines, which include quarterly preparation of the Fs, and the APR need to be inculcated within the municipality, because we believe that once they introduce this control of quarterly Fs, then the municipality will then be in a position where they are able to clear the errors on time, unlike doing everything at year end. And what has happened after we left the municipality, they have indicated their plan to do an interim audit. Though they have not yet prepared the Fs, we believe that the interim can also assist. And number two, non-compliance with legislation remains a contributing factor to the UIFWO. And we are saying it impacts on the achievement of key service delivery objectives, and therefore this impacts again on the lived realities of the citizens on the ground. Senior management, together with the oversight structures, slow response on the consequence management is also a matter that needs serious attention, as it looks like we are just encouraging these irregularities without taking any consequence. And number four, we are talking about the laxity on the non-achievement of basic services. And we are denying the citizens of the municipality the right to these services. So root causes and commitments, these are the root causes. Based on the work that we did at the municipality, we say there's inadequate review of the Fs and performance reports by senior management and audit committee, over-reliance on the audit process to identify required adjustments to the Fs by both management and consultants, inadequate planning and budgetary controls resulting in significant non-achievement of basic service delivery objectives, and inaction and delay by senior management and oversight structures in implementing effective consequence management. And also there was instability in key positions of the MM and CFO over a period of time, which then weakened the internal control environment. Then there were also commitments that we got from the mayor, where the mayor indicated that the new MM will get support, and we have seen that in the meetings that we have already attended, in the support in resolving the issues. Then moving on the next slide, which is the accountability ecosystem, where we say activating the accountability ecosystem. We have council and senior management. We also have coordinating ministries. If you can recall from that previous slide, we have MPECs and portfolio committees. We have senior management. In all these areas for council and senior management, we say implement effective revenue collection strategies, prudent spending and prevention of UIFW, speedy investigations into the UIFW to ensure that there is consequence management and implement appropriate budgetary and monitoring measures. Coordinating ministries, we say, must intensify their role in monitoring, supporting and capacitating municipalities. And this includes intervening and enforcing legislative requirements where needed. And they must strengthen the oversight on the monitoring of the municipality's spending on the budget. And this is mainly because of the low achievement on our service delivery targets. And under MPEC and portfolio committees, we are saying ensure swift corrective actions and investigations, and that investigations are taken, and where necessary, consequence management need to be effective to address UIFW. Good governance and accountability should be a shared vision for all role players. And that includes council, mayors, and all coordinating departments. And lastly, on senior management, we say we need to upskill officials and fill key critical vacancies, as we have indicated that we have an overall vacancy of 21%, but in the finance department, it is sitting at 21%. And we are saying once this is done, then this will assist in order to instill a good internal control environment without the need to over-rely on consultants. And municipal manager and senior management must timeously attend to recommendations through appropriate action plans to improve internal control and address our root causes. And yeah, then that was the last one. And thank you very much.
Thank you very
Over to
much.
you, Chairperson.
Thank you. I was informed a long time ago that you were left with 1 minute. And but because of the break, I could not determine how much the break was. So in the next presenters now, we will be very strict. Now it's SALGA. Councillor Zikhali, you are the leader of the delegation. You can take over. Over to you.
No, thanks very much, Chair. Councillor Zikhali is unfortunately not able to join us today due to some mishap. So my name is Lady Lesibati. I'm the Provincial Director of Operations from SALGA. I'm going to be having Mr. Masete presenting on our behalf. He'll be presenting a comprehensive report that speaks to the support that we have provided over time to Lepelle-Nkumpi, both in terms of capacity and also just in fulfillment of our mandate. So over to you, Mr. Masete. Let's to 15 minutes to do our presentation. Thank you, sir.
You are extending it to 15 minutes now. 10, not 15.
10 minutes, my apologies.
Oh, okay.
Good morning and thanks, Chairperson. I hope to be way less than 10 minutes. This is our outline in terms of our presentation. Yeah, I will focus on municipal finance and audit support, and then municipal capabilities and governance support, and municipal infrastructure and service delivery support, and conclude with socio-economic development and spatial transformation. In terms of our mandate, we are expected to provide capacity building to municipalities, support and advice, and most importantly, knowledge and information sharing, which is what drives performance in municipalities. This in summary is our support. Often our support is generic and sometimes it is specific to the municipality. I will not deal with the strategic outcomes. I'll jump a few slides and go straight to the support that we have provided in terms of municipal finance. Yeah, they've already spoken about UIF. As SALGA, we had a program on the provincial UIF reduction strategy. A strategy in terms of which we must reduce unauthorized and irregular expenditure by 75% before 2024, and by 100% we must reduce fruitless and wasteful expenditure by 100%. And as it has been reported, we have to commend Lepelle-Nkumpi Municipality for the progress that they've registered in terms of reducing UIFW from 420 million to way under 1 million. So we are happy with what has happened there. It shows that the program has produced results. And then in terms of issues related to unfunded budgets, financial health, and so forth, it has been reported here that the municipality is in good financial health. And this is a big positive. We really commend the municipality on this, and that their budget has been funded over the previous few years. And that is also a good plus. But you'll see that we participate in their audit steering committee meetings. So we are very much aware of the progress that they are making and the commitment that they have towards these matters. In terms of debt owed to municipalities, we are also working with the provincial government, that is Coghsta, and the Provincial Treasury through the Provincial Debt Recovery Forum. And progress is being made. We are happy with what the forum is doing. But the problems that have been highlighted, I will not repeat them. They have to do with registration of property and so forth. So we are confident that in the medium term, most of those issues will be resolved. So we are confident that we'll make progress. In terms of other programs, some I will not repeat because they are in the other slides, but we have to emphasize that immediately after the 2021 local government elections, we put a lot of effort and resources on capacitating the Section 79 and Section 80 committees, this so that they can improve or hit the ground running in terms of their oversight responsibility. And within a period of less than 2 years, it has shown that the councillors have provided some relatively strong oversight in the municipality. Well, despite the fact that the municipality regressed from unqualified to qualified, but in relative terms, we think the portfolio committees have taken to heart the capacity building program that we have provided. So some of the issues raised relates to asset management, and we show there as SALGA that we are working with the municipality on issues of GRAP and making sure that their asset management is up to par. And this includes their preparation of annual financial statements. And we have a toolkit on records management, which is an issue that usually troubles many municipalities. So we don't take it lightly. As SALGA, we are working with the municipality to make sure that in this area, improvements are registered. And we also partner with others in the sector in terms of the IGR networks that we have, including in the private sector, to make sure that we provide that knowledge and information sharing that we spoke about when we started. The issues of training of MPECs, we have an IGR approach to it. We work with Coghsta and Provincial Treasury, and even the legislature, sometimes here and there, they come in so that we have that benchmarking approach to the matters. So these are the toolkits that I've spoken about on records management and asset management. In terms of municipal governance, we have a structure called the Council of Speakers, and through this structure, we encourage the speakers to share experiences, and there's a range of issues that they look at, and we are happy that this program does have an impact. So I will not really dwell much on it, but we deal with issues related to public participation, issues related to disciplinary procedures for councillors so that the speakers can follow up on issues that needs to be dealt with, including issues around reviewing their rules of orders so that they can have a orderly council. As well, to support the chief whip of the municipality, we do this through the provincial forum for chief whips. We deal with issues of whippery management there, as we will know before a council sits, whippery management must be very effective. So the multi-party structure that is there in the municipality, they benefit from this forum. So I will try to quicken my presentation so that we stay within the time. In terms of the next slide, this is where we deal with issues of, we call them municipal capabilities in terms of our language here at SALGA, issues of performance management. We provide support to the municipality so that they can cascade their system down to all the levels. And we also have a service where we provide competency assessment to the municipality that is on demand.
1 minute, 1 minute left.
Let me overview. And then we workshop them on staff regulations in terms of service delivery. But I do have to say, under municipal capabilities, that on job evaluation, we are not necessarily way ahead in terms of progress, but there's a big commitment from the municipality to do well there. So we are on course. In terms of service delivery, I think they've spoken about the issue of municipal spending. We are assisting the municipality there. We usually speak mostly about forward planning. That is the philosophy that we advocate for in terms of our municipalities, but we have also taken all the Section 79 committees to training on water, electricity, matters of the environment, and disaster management. Maybe just to finish on socio-economic development, we have a program, a flagship program on LED. It's a partnership between SALGA and the University of Johannesburg and LIDET. The training is at NQF level 8, so you can see that it is a high-level training program, and there's a very good intake, and we are trying to support the municipalities to take forward issues of LED, because you need LED to have the tax base to raise the revenue that you need for service delivery. Chairperson, I can stop here. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Can we move to the next presenter? It's DCOG, Honorable, Mr. Mohale. Can I hand over to you?
Good morning, Honorable Chairperson, and also good morning to all the members of the committee. And let me also extend my greetings to the MECs in the meeting, and the HODs, as well as the leadership of SALGA, including the leadership of both the district and the local municipality. As indicated, Chairperson, the presentation made by the province was precisely what we have done jointly, and we don't have to repeat. What I can just raise, as a few comments from our side, as the cocktail at the national level, is just to emphasize our concern pertaining to this performance, especially in the technical side or the infrastructure side. On the governance side, all the committees are meeting, and it seems to be going well. But on the supply, on the technical side, for us the critical problem is SCM function, which seems to actually be the missing link and has to be addressed. And in most cases, it's an internal matter of the municipality, and they would expect that it should be addressed. But the other area that we have observed is that where there is non-performance of a service provider that has been appointed by the municipality, and where there's a decisive decision that has to be made, then those decisions are not taken, you know, and we can't do much outside. If we are outside the stakeholders, we can only raise the issues, and then our officials in the space, led by the provincial manager and also our provincial manager in Coghsta and Misa, have raised these matters. But we will definitely want to change our posture towards supporting the municipality and ensure that you know, where there is blockages of any nation, we are able to can raise it, and through our minister then raise it with the mayor, and ensure that there's intervention is, you know, some intervention is taken in terms of an action in that particular space. This municipality have got potential. It just need to really, you know, get the whole strata of management to be, you know, filled, and where there is a challenge internally of any incumbent, especially if there is an incumbent but the performance is very poor. The municipality has got an obligation to check with us and make sure that we can always come through the Treasury, a supply chain specialist to come in and assist them to get some of these processes going. But overall, it will be. The onus lies on the municipality, but we all take responsibility for the state of the municipality the way it is now, and we will just have to tighten up how we really reinforce ourselves in the space to ensure that there is traction on some of these non-performance areas that's prevalent in the municipality. Thank you, members, and we will also await questions at the end of this issue when everybody has presented. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Can we now move to Capricorn District Municipality Executive Mayor Mamudupi? Therefore, over to you.
Thank you very much, Chair. Good morning to you, and also good morning to members of the Portfolio Committee, the MEC for Coghsta, and also the Provincial Treasury MEC and SALGA representatives, and also the leadership of Coghsta nationally, the PMT of Capricorn District Municipality, and the the leadership of Lepelle-Nkumpi Municipality as led by the Mayor and fellow councillors in the meeting. Good morning. As they have already indicated, my name is Councillor Mamudupi Tefo, the Executive Mayor for Capricorn District Municipality. I think on the second slide, we are indicating that Lepelle-Nkumpi Municipality is also part of the 4 other municipalities which are under Capricorn District Municipality. I'm not going to mention other municipalities for the sake of time. And we are also indicating where Lepelle-Nkumpi is located in the province. We are also indicating that in terms of basic service access and backlog, Lepelle-Nkumpi household which have access to water is 62.3, and the backlog is 37.7. And where we are not doing well as the district is in terms of sanitation that we also provide to Lepelle-Nkumpi Municipality. Household with access is 21.2, and the backlog we're sitting at 78.8, and this is because of funding. Well, as the Capricorn District Municipality, we are Water Service Authority, and also our responsibility is to supply potable water to the following municipality: Lepelle-Nkumpi, Blowback, and Mulemule Municipality. Like all the 3 municipalities that we provide water service to, Lepelle-Nkumpi has also been appointed as the water service provider, and we also signed a service level agreement with them for the collection of water revenue on behalf of the district municipality, and they receive 30% of the proceeds due to the district municipality. The district has also contracted with Lepelle Northern Water to supply communities in the Lepelle-Nkumpi local municipalities jurisdiction with potable water. And Lepelle Northern Water supplies 24 megaliters per day, which covers more than 36 villages under Lepelle-Nkumpi municipal, though we understand that it is not enough. So currently, we are envisaging the upgrade of water line from Olifant will improve the state of water supply in the Lepelle-Nkumpi municipality. Current major water projects implemented by the district include the implementation of Groote Regional Water Scheme, Leboago bulk water supply, which is of the value of 171.7, and also Mphahlele Regional Water Scheme, which benefit Bolajane, Polokwane, Makurung, and Ditabaneng, a water supply which is of the value of 426 million. And currently, we are waiting for the project to be completed. We are waiting for approval, particularly in terms of servitude from ZCC to cross the pipeline through their farm. And as I report progress to date of this project that I've indicated is at 96%. And the municipality is also implementing another project which benefit the community of Bututulo, Matabata, Towaning, which is of the value of 40.6 million. And the project is currently at 30%. And it started November 2022. We anticipated that the project will be completed in April. And future projects that we have planned under MIG as the district municipality to benefit Lepelle-Nkumpi, we have done feasibility study for 3 water projects to be implemented under the same municipality. The funding that is required for this project to be implemented is 1.3 billion, and I'm not going to go through the villages that this project will benefit, but I must indicate that the technical reports for this project have already been approved by Department of Water and Sanitation as feasible for implementation. We have requested the department to assist us with funding. We are also indicating on how are we dealing with day-to-day breakdowns which have been reported to the municipality. I can confirm here that out of the reported breakdowns under Lepelle-Nkumpi municipality, by March 2023, there were around 966 breakdowns reported. Out of those 926 maintenance operations and maintenance breakdown reported, we have managed to resolve and complete 941 breakdowns. And we are also having a team of operations and maintenance, which is responsible to deal with day-to-day issues of maintenance around Lepelle-Nkumpi municipality. We are having a team, we have a deficit of 21 employees who should then be that side. But I must say that currently we have advertised so that we have a fully fledged team of our operations and maintenance, which is situated in our satellite office in Lepelle-Nkumpi. And this team is working hand in hand with councillors and also the municipality of Lepelle-Nkumpi municipality. We're also indicating the artisans under operations and maintenance, which are also based in Lepelle-Nkumpi municipality. Our responsibility is also to make provision for sanitation, and here we are indicating that under the financial year 2020-2021, we had budgeted 8.6 million, where we constructed 515 VIP toilets. 2022-2023, we had budgeted 8.8, where we completed 515 sanitation. For the financial year 2023-2024, we've also budgeted 8.9 to construct 550 VIP toilets. And in terms of the Leboago wastewater treatment plant, which is a challenge, to date, the facility has capacity to process 3 megaliters of sewer water. However, the facility processes 7 megaliters, which puts a strain on the system. So it is over-utilized. So for us to be able to then upgrade this facility, we will need a budget of 300 million. And currently we are working hand in hand with the Department of Water and Sanitation to request funding, and they are assisting the municipality to access our big funding. So the process is still on. If we could be able to get this funding, we'll also be able to upgrade, and also the municipality would also be in a better position to proceed with development around the area. Well, We also have a responsibility of provision of disaster management, fire and municipal health services, and the current existing capacity under Lepelle-Nkumpi municipality. And I must also here say that we are also having satellite offices where our officials are based around the Lepelle-Nkumpi municipality. Under disaster management services, we have one disaster officer and also disaster coordinators. We have one who is also based in the Lepelle-Nkumpi municipality. Under fire services, we have 28 firefighters team members operating on a shift-based station at Sefako Mahato Fire Station, which is also based in the Lepelle-Nkumpi municipality. And we also have 5 environmental health practitioners who are also based under the Lepelle-Nkumpi municipality. In terms of district municipal planning tribunals, for a period of 5 years until August 2022, the district had established district municipal planning tribunal in which Lowbeck, Lemula, and Lepelle-Nkumpi local municipality participated. The operations of DMPT were budgeted and funded by the district. However, when the term of office expired in August 2022, all 3 municipalities indicated that they were ready to establish their own. And I think Lepelle-Nkumpi is at the process of establishing their own municipal planning tribunal. And support provided for in the previous years in terms of administrative support, which is from September 2019, Council had seconded an official in a form of a chief executive manager, internal audit, to act as a manager, a municipal manager at the Lepelle-Nkumpi municipality. And during that time, there were improvement wherein the third person ensured effective coordination of the following structures: management committees, executive committees, and also strengthening of municipal public accounts and audit committees. And during that time also there was, in terms of financial viability, the municipality was able to reinvest 150 with various banks, with investment regulations, in line with investment regulation, and also improve municipal budget from 344 million to 510. And they also managed to secure additional grants such as INEP. In terms of audit outcomes, I must indicate, as the AG has presented, the municipality had regressed. And current district audit and risk support to Lepelle-Nkumpi municipality, we are indicating that the following technical and other administrative support services are provided by the district. Participate in audit committee and also risk management meetings quarterly, and they also participate in AG audit steering committees meetings in preparation for AG and also during the AG period and also post AG cycle. And the district also assists in responding to AG findings and also auditing of the information technology on annual basis, and the auditing of the performance information and system. And we also assist in review of the draft annual financial statement and APR, and also reviewing and monitoring of the audit action plan implementation progress report, and also assist in conducting quality assurance reviews on the effectiveness of internal audit and audit committee. Well, this is done every 3 years. And implementation of clean audit strategy. As the district, we are launching the clean audit, operation clean audit. We are anticipating that our wish is to see all municipalities under Capricorn district also receiving clean audit. As you may be aware, the district received clean audit, and also assisting in developing both strategic and also operational risk register, and assist in the development of the risk-based internal audit plan. And we're also assisting in the reviewing of the risk management and internal audit policies to ensure compliance with the national and also provincial framework. And planned additional support to Lepelle-Nkumpi on audit matters. For the previous external audits, we have realized that no local use services of quality assurer to assist to review their AFS. Only the district did that, and also the AG also mentioned that the quality of the AFS. And for the next external audit, the district is considering to provide support to all locals to have quality assurer to review their annual financials before submission to the AG, Well, this is part of the district clean audit strategy that will be launched on the 28th March 2023. And we are also planned to support on cascading of performance management system and predetermined objectives. Currently, the Lepelle-Nkumpi municipality has not yet cascaded their performance management system to lower staff, and also has challenges on predetermined objectives, which also affected its audit outcomes. Well, in view of these challenges, the district is also planning to make available its team from PMS to assist the municipality on cascading of the performance management system and also proper management of predetermined objective. Assessment will be done jointly with the two municipalities to ascertain scope of support required in this regard. Currently, Lepelle-Nkumpi Municipal Legal Services, HR, and also PMU capacities limited to resignations and or disciplinary processes, and the municipality has requested support on this matter until this gap is addressed through filling of relevant positions or completion of disciplinary processes. Well, the request for support on legal services will be granted as from the 27 March 2023, and legal resource a team from CDM will be assigned to assist as per the arrangement with the municipality. And ongoing basis, the district will also avail its resources to assist on HR and PMU until the municipality finalizes appointments on advertised positions, but also in terms of PMU, MISA, Coghsta through MISA is also assisting the municipality. And we are also providing support through our IGRs forums. As the district municipality, we coordinate and chair various district intergovernmental forums established to discuss and advise each other on matters of mutual interest. We are giving support to the mayor through the mayoral IGR forum. And here in all meetings, a standing item is also on expenditure on MIG, and we're also joined by different departments within the district. We are also providing support to the speaker through the speakers forum, and we're also providing support to the chief whip through the chief whip forum, municipal managers through the municipal managers forum, and CFOs forums. And we are also having district technical managers forum and district audit committee forums. Well, the above forums are meant to bring the district and its locals together to support each other and also share the best practices on the execution of municipal services, delivery, and governance. And we can acknowledge that there seems to be progress.
Thank you very much, Executive Mayor. Can we now move to the Lepelle-Nkumpi Local Municipality Executive Mayor, Miriam Molola? Over to you, Mayor. Please unmute.
Thank you, Chair, for allowing us to present on this portfolio. And let me take this opportunity and greet all the honorable members that are in attendance. And also let me greet my honorable MEC for Coghsta for attending, and greet my honorable MEC for Treasury in absentia, but also greet the HOD for Treasury and the HOD for Coghsta, I think in absentia, but the Treasury is available. Let me greet the Director for Operations from SALGA and the manager. And let me greet the Honorable Executive Mayor of CDM with the Speaker and the Chief Whip in attendance and the MM. And let me greet the Auditor-General under the leadership of Ntate Lady, and as well as Mamula Teba. Honorable Chair, let me introduce the team that I'm with. I am with the Chief Whip, who is Councillor Sillo. I am with the Speaker, who is Councillor Nkobela. I am with the MPEC Chair, who is Councillor Makhatlela. I am with the Ethics Chair, who is Councillor Ramushaba. I am with the executive members, the portfolio finance, which is Councillor Ledwaba. And then for portfolio corporate, I'm with Councillor Mazwi. For Councillor community services, in a Councillor Matimela, and LED and planning, in a Councillor Mulomu. And then I think in absentia is Councillor Pofela, who is on the technical. And also from the admin side, we've got the MM, who is Mrs. Munyapao, with the acting manager for planning, and the acting manager for community services, and the acting executive manager for corporate, and the acting CFO, and the acting technical, and the support staff that are with us. The presentation, as I'm going to be giving, it's in line with the status at the municipality, and what is it that the action plan in terms of the issues that have been identified. Obviously, our presentation layout, it will be as follows. That will be the introductory remarks, the good governance and public participation, the institutional capacity, the financial viability, the basic service delivery, and the local economic development, and the conclusion. Obviously, just to give an overview, that we as the Lepelle-Nkumpi, the area, it has got 3,464 hectares, and it occupies 16% of the Capricorn district municipality. We've got 30 wards comprising of 94 settlements, and 95 of our land falls under traditional authorities. In terms of the population, we've got 233 population out of that is constituting 61 households. And then those are the demographics that are defining who we are. Can we proceed? Then in terms of the constitution of the Lepelle-Nkumpi, we've got the political parties that are involved in the council. We've got 40 members that are coming from African National Congress, 4 members that are coming from Defenders of the People, 2 members that are coming from Democratic Alliance, 12 members that are coming from EFF, and the 1 member that is coming from Leboa Home Civic Association, and 1 member that is coming from Magoshiswarana. Obviously, what I will be presenting is emanating from what our Honorable MEC, under the leadership of the Honorable MEC of Coghsta, that they've conducted the assessment in 2021, obviously in collaboration with the Coghsta, whereby they declared us as dysfunctional as the local municipality. And the presentation that is going to be made, it will be to affirm some of the things and even give the plan of action in terms of what we have done and what we are planning to do. And that assessment was confined to 5 pillars of the government, which is the political, the governance, the administrative, the financial management, and the service delivery. The first one, which is the good governance and political participation, obviously, I think it has been echoed that the council is now stable and functional. We've got a proper communication system. We've got councillors that are responding if there are issues of unrest at community level. We've got a very good relationship that is emanating between management and the political management team. We've got a serious impact that is caused by community unrest that is emanating from various issues. Majority of the issues is economic issues, but some of them, there are service delivery issues. And we are working together with other departments like the police in relation to solving those things, those protests, and depending on the functional area. Now, for this 6 months, we had 5 protests, whereby we had protests at Ward 3 and Ward 6, where they were complaining about service delivery issues. And Ward 13 and 15, it was an informal march where they didn't follow the processes, whereby they were complaining about them not getting services in an illegal area where they've occupied the area that is not supposed to be occupied. Then we had a march on Ward 19, and where it was a formal march of service delivery, and we've got an informal march of Ward 27, where it was informal march of service delivery. In cases where it's service delivery a protest, you'll find that the community is just complaining about when is our project going to be implemented. And when we start explaining to them that we're still having some admin processes that we're following, then that is resolved. All those processes, as we said, they are service delivery orientated, but we have addressed them. And we've got various processes that we're dealing with those community unrests. And then we've even emphasized that to what in IDP consultative meetings, because in most cases, you'll find that it may be about a new service that is required, but that is being included as part and parcel of the new IDP consultative meetings. And then we are saying it has been highlighted that there have been less community ward councillors feedback, and that is running properly every month. And we are even having the quarterly mandatory meetings where the councillors are reporting in terms of what is happening. In terms of continuation of this, we're saying that all the committees are functional and they are sitting. All the ward committees have been established and they've been inducted. And we're saying the public participation is effective due to the existence of the ward committees that are existing, because each and every ward is represented. We've got MPEG and ethics that have been established and are effective, and they've developed their actual annual working plan that is inclusive of all the processes that they have to do, all the oversight that they have to do, and all the investigations that they have to do. And obviously, MPEG has to have submitted an oversight report. They are submitting oversight report quarterly, and now they are even working on the annual oversight report. We've got the ESCO that sit on monthly basis and the portfolio committee that sit on monthly basis to deal with the matters, so that as we go to the council per quarter, then all the information is ready. In terms of continuation, we're having council outreach that is meeting quarterly. We're having the council that we're conducting outside. We're alternating, obviously, because we're having 4 major councils. Then 2 are held into the municipality, then 2 are held in them outside as council outreach. And then we're having ward committees for a meeting quarterly, and we've got imbizos that goes with the council outreach quarterly outside at community level. And as I've mentioned, we've got mandatory committees that are in support to the feedback sessions that are being held with the communities on monthly basis. In addition to that, we've got the audit committee, audit and performance committee that is in place and is meeting quarterly, and it's submitting we have approved their charter. We have a report that is presented by them to the council per quarter, and then we are having them, they are evaluating the performance on an annual basis. And this is an effective structure that is helping us in terms of all the audit related issues. And then we've got the risk management committee that is existing and functional and is being chaired by the external person who is now having a support by our internal, and their role is to look at the strategic risk and the operational risk and the emerging risk, and they report on the date in terms of how do we mitigate against those risks. And in addition to that, we've got an audit and fraud and strategy, and then those reports are presented to the audit committee, and then obviously on an annual basis, the risk workshops are conducted so that even the staff must understand that how do they respond to specific risk. Then the second one, which is the institutional, we are saying obviously we've appointed the MM by October 2020, and then we've experienced a resignation by the Chief Financial Officer, the Corporate Services Manager, and the Manager Planning. And for community services and planning, we went through the recruitment process, but the candidates received a basic in terms of competency. Then we had to advertise. We had to take the positions back because of the competency level that we found from those. Obviously, then all these positions are vacant. All the positions that we're having, they are acting managers, which are the second in charge. They are like the operation officers, because these are the executives of, they are like the CEOs of the department. Then we've got the chief operation officers that are in the department acting now. And that in itself is a continuation of the organization, and needs to reflect that in terms of issues of continuity, we cannot lag behind because of the acting. We have to continue. And we have advertised these positions, and we're expecting them to close by the 15th of April. And as per the requirement, they will be going through the process. But we're expecting that before by end of June, we will be finished with the appointment of senior managers. And as a continuation for the institutional capacity, we've already even reviewed our organizational structure that has been adopted by the council. And presently, that is going in line with the what SALGA has been doing, has been saying in relation to job evaluation, that obviously the structure, we have to finish the job evaluation, and we're being assisted by SALGA, by Coghsta, and by CDM in making sure that all our structure is job evaluated, because as per the regulations, by the next financial year, as we're implementing, we must be implementing all the structure that is having all the job evaluation. In terms of the employee bill, presently we're at 35.9 of the operating budget, which is within the Treasury norms. And in terms of the PMS, as it has been said, we are now, it's only on the 57 managers, but we are working towards cascading it as per the regulations that is propelling us that by the 1st of July, all the managers, all the staff members should be subjected to the PMS. And obviously we're having SALGA, we're having Coghsta, and we're having CDM that will be assisting us in terms of cascading the PMS. In relation to that, as part of consequence management, it has been outlined, but so far we had a number of cases that we have dealt with since 2020 to up until now. We've got 20 cases, and number of cases that have been resolved. We've got 14 cases, and we've got active. And in the challenge that we are having is that I think we've got 2 cases that have been referred to a collective bargain council, so that we can be able to finalize them. And then we've got 4 disciplinary hearings that are in progress, and then we've got 15 in addition to the 20 that is still under progress, under investigation, because it's emanating from the 2020 up until now. And we are saying, as a corrective measure, more that we are going to continue with consequence management, but obviously we will be assisted by CDM, by SALGA, by Coghsta to develop the consequence management that will be a system that will help and even educate our staff to know that this is it's in existence because it's in compliance with the MFMA. In terms of financial viability, it has been said that we've been attaining the unqualified audit opinion, but we have regressed for this 21-22. And the basis for us was the issuer revenue and the issue leave provision, the cash flows, the statement of comparison of budget and actual amounts, the PPE classification, the audit of predetermined objectives. And what we have done was that in terms of our action plan, we want to sort these things before the closure of this financial year, so that it must enable us to have clear closing balance, for us to have a clear opening balance. And we've agreed with AG that they will come and audit these aspects, so that we close our year correctly to enable the next financial year to have clear opening balance. Obviously, we've done a generic action plan that we've been using the Treasury system, and we've even submitted it, and it has been reviewed by the audit committee, and it has been approved by the council on the 30th of January. That is inclusive of all the issues that have been identified, which are around 73 that have been identified as the matters that we need to deal with. And then obviously the progress of this implementation of this action plan is a standing item in the executive management. It's a standing item in the ExCom management meeting, and also it's a standing item on the quarterly audit committee agenda. And we have developed a roadmap in consultation with CDM, in consultation with SALGA, in consultation with the Coghsta, towards achieving a clean audit within this period, so that we can be able to attain the clean audit as the CDM has done. And what we've been doing, and we're still going to do, is to continue with our technical audit steering committee that is being chaired by myself. And then that is going to be resuscitated now for the last quarter of the year, so that we close our books, so that when we start our books for the next financial year, then now when already the committee will be up and running. Obviously, in terms of the financial viability, I think one of the issues that was a problem was that our budget was not funded. And obviously, since 2021 to 2022, our table budget and our adjusted budget, it has been a funded budget. We were not experiencing this problem any longer. Then in terms of financial viability and debtors management, I think it has been said by Treasury that the biggest culprit here is public works in terms of various properties, but we are working with Treasury, we're working with public works itself, we're working with Coghsta and SALGA and CDM to resolve that. And that is bringing some obviously they've started paying some of for the properties that they are not disputing, but those that they are disputing, obviously Coghsta has appointed some conveyance to help us in terms of those properties to be registered, so that we can, because they are the biggest in terms of our debtors. And then other activities that we'll be doing is that we'll be doing issuing a credit notice for overdue accounts. And obviously the public works is being engaged through the Department of Coghsta, the forum that has been established to ensure that they are following up with the Treasury for all the departments that are owing. And then obviously the schools that are part and parcel of public works, and some are the private schools, then we're dealing with them directly. We've got the leader that we've already agreed with them as to how they are going to pay. And we've got an incentive programs that we have developed, that we have issued out to our household, to even now as we speak, as part and parcel of our revenue enhancement strategy. We've issued out an advert to say to them, come and capitalize on this thing, in terms of the incentives. And that in itself, it's yielding some results. Then as a continuation, in relation to the revenue enhancement strategy, it was said that obviously by 2021, we're not implementing anything. We are coming up with different programs. As I said, one of the program was to tell the householders, apart from the department, but to tell the householders and the business to say, here is a incentive program, come and register. It has got a period starting and the ending period. Once the period is ended, then we cannot negotiate, then we will be implementing credit control measures. Obviously, in addition to that, to ensure that our revenue enhancement strategy is implemented, we have got a challenge in terms of invasion of land, but then what we are doing, we are negotiating with them, and we have developed a formalization proposal to the community to ensure then we are going to discuss with them and agree with them so that they can be able to buy those land, because they have invaded the land and that land doesn't have services, and that is affecting them. And for us to be able to put the services, we have to come up with a technical plan that is in the budget a plan that is going to be funded by them buying the sites and us starting to invest in those areas. Another one is the inefficiency in approval of building plans due to the turnaround and obviously Coghsta is assisting us in terms of registering of those properties. Chair, I can see you, but I was thinking that maybe you can expand sometime, because I'm the...
Which time do you want?
I still need another 15 minutes.
No, it can't be.
Okay. Let me be fast. Obviously, yeah, I think 5 minutes. Inefficiency in use of lands and management of SME. We've got Libra that has been approved, and that in itself will be able to deal with the SMEs of the hawkers that are not registered, and even the unregistered government properties that is being, we're getting help from Coghsta to have them registered so that they can be able to, we can derive some revenue from them. And then obviously we're going to our books to make sure that where we're not billing people correctly, we're having them updated in terms of their personal, and we're engaging with them to update their information so that we can do the correct billing with them. That is all what is encompassed in our revenue enhancement strategy. Thank you. And then in continuation with that, obviously the UIF strategy has been adopted by the council, and then that we were assisted by Treasury and Coghsta and CDM in doing that. And that in itself is reflecting how much has been based on the report, the AG's report, the one that we picked up. We are referring it to the disciplinary board and the MPEC to do some investigation. And then that has been confirmed by the AG that maybe have slipped us as well. We're referring back to the disciplinary board and the MPEC to ensure that we're going to recover those costs, and the action is going to be taken in relation to that. Obviously, I think there's been some numbers that have been given that in terms of fruitless, and we are saying, obviously, we are seeing a lot of progress because we are following them, and we are making sure that these are being implemented thoroughly during the process. Through the internal audit, we are being able to detect, and through the CFO's office, we are being able to detect that this is a fruitless and wasteful, and then we're dealing with it. And I think this one is reflecting that those are under investigations, and we're still dealing with them. Can you proceed? Obviously, I think the one that is the unauthorized expenditure due to non-cash items, we have identified that, and we're dealing with that. And the irregular that has been much, but it's emanating from all previous years. And obviously, I think a chunk of it is going to be dealt with because we have concluded the investigation and we have concluded the process at the MPEC, and we've got a recommendation that the MPEC has done to go to the council in terms of recovery and even obviously those costs that they are supposed to be, I forgot the word, that they must overwrite it, I think, as the council, and that process has been done. Let me continue. And in terms of service delivery, I think what we can say is that for this financial year, we've been given, obviously go to the next financial year, we've been given 61 million. And out of that 61 million, the expenditure as per 6 months was at 14.8, and at NEP, we were at 0. And this is due to the administrative process, but presently we can say out of all the projects of IMIC, we have appointed, and all the projects are NEP, we have appointed. And then proceed. This is just giving an outline in terms of various key projects that we've been doing from the previous financial year up until this financial year. I just need the last slide. Yeah, what we are doing in relation to making sure that we are accelerating is I am responsible for chairing that committee with the portfolio head and the management and the service providers, whereby we are looking into their program. We've changed their program to be a 30-day to be a 15 days program, so that we can ensure that by end of May, we will have spent all the money. And they've changed their cash flow, they've changed their interventions to make sure that each and every quarter, each and every half of the month we are checking. And also we've come up with the forward planning, which is being assisted by CDM and by Coghsta and by SALGA, in terms of making sure that we deal with the appointment of consultants. And by end of this, obviously April, we have appointed consultants for the coming year that they will start. They will have a 2 months that they will start, so that when we reach July, the next financial year, we can be able to start with the implementation of those projects. Obviously, the last one is the waste collection. We are saying in terms of the waste collection, more that we are complying in terms of the law. We've got a landfill that is registered. We've got 20 EPWP workers per ward, 20 times 30, that we've been assisted by Public Works, and we're assisted by Department of Agriculture. We've got a waste transfer facility in one of the cluster, and that is assisting us in terms of ensuring that issues of illegal dumping, issues of waste in the area are being dealt with. We can proceed. Then we're saving in terms of the urban, we're saving all the 7,255 households, and we've put the skip in the rural areas where we're collecting, and we're even collecting in terms of government offices, industrial, hospitals, and shopping centers. Then in terms of economic development, obviously we've developed and adopted the local economic development and tourism strategy, which was done in 2019. And then in terms of implementation, we've seen some benefits in terms of the support in terms of mining, where through the social plan, we've achieved a lot of projects that has been implemented through the social labor plan. And then we've got the business support, tourism and job creation program that is assisting various programs in agriculture and even in tourism. That is an update in terms of what we've done. And then now, in terms of this, in support of the DDM, or in us responding to the DDM, we've coined ourselves to be a smart municipality, to create a smart municipality where we're going to create an ICT infrastructure that is going to enable the upgrading of the broadband within the urban area and the rural areas in terms of the towers and everything. And that in itself, it will help us, because now once we've got that infrastructure, our communities can tap in that and come up with economic activities. And we as the municipality as well, we're going to tap into that in terms of making sure that we're making our services to be ICT vibrant in terms of utilizing that. And obviously, those are the projects, are the catalyst projects that we have included in the DDM model to ensure that as we can implement them, they will really help the municipality in terms of taking us to another level in terms of issues to economic development. Thank you. In conclusion, we are saying, obviously, we've been identified as the municipality that is having some challenges, and we are working collaboratively with Coghsta, with CDM, with SALGA and Cooperative and Treasury very hard to ensure that we are turning the situation around. And we are saying, as the municipality, irrespective of the challenges whereby people are just resigning or people are being subjected to, they are leaving because of being subjected to disciplinary hearing. But with the system that we have created within the municipality and the support that we're getting, we will turn the municipality around. And I think we can tell a different story by the end of the financial year, so that when we go into the next financial year, we will be a different municipality. Thank you. Thank you, Honorable Chair.
Thank you very much, Honorable Mayor. There were a number of people who were sending messages. One was saying they didn't see the face of the mayor. So maybe when you respond to questions, you'll have to show yourself up. And there was also another person who said, can all the presentations be shared with us for official work purposes, if that is allowed? I assume that person might be somebody with interest who is part of the meeting. The person must engage the portfolio committee secretary. I may not know if they are allowed. Honorable members, we have come to the end of the presentations, and I'm sorry for pushing the presenters, but I think we allowed those that we felt were very critical to be completed. This is now your turn, honorable members, to engage with the presentations. Otherwise, thank you very much to all the presenters. I see Honorable Opperman.
Chairperson, good morning. I've got a couple of questions for Lepelle-Nkumpi. I want to know about their salary bill. Their salary bill is already highly inflated, and it is 10% higher than the norm. Yet they have high vacancies in senior management positions. So if those positions are filled now that are on their organogram, at what percentage will their salary bill then stand, because it's already at 45% currently? Then they have very low expenditure on their grant funds and on the capital projects. And the presentation say it's due to late appointment of service providers. How did that impact service delivery and infrastructure development in the municipality? Then the water and sanitation backlogs are huge throughout the district. The sanitation backlog of Lepelle-Nkumpi is at 78.8%. So it means that only 21.2% have access to sanitation if you look at slide 4 of CDM, the CDM presentation. The blowback backlog sanitation is at 91.5, Mole Mole at 82.2, but I don't want to talk about them. How will the district assist Lepelle-Nkumpi municipality through the district development model to mitigate this challenge? Then the 36 villages in Lepelle-Nkumpi have an ever-growing population. And they have the service provider, Lepelle Northern Water, that has a 30-year contract. But the 24 megaliters is already insufficient and the population is growing. How will they increase that 24 megaliters in the next 5 years? And when do they foresee will the water line from Olifantspoort be upgraded? Then when last you had a community unrest, and what were the reasons for that? As seen the slide, you had 5 protests in Ward 3, in Ward 6, in Ward 13, Ward 19, Ward 27, and all of these were service delivery orientated. When last had you had a community unrest, and has it since been resolved? Then you say that your impact sits monthly. I want to know, how did you determine who chairs that committee? And how many financial misconduct cases have you investigated in the previous financial year? To what amount, and what disciplinary measures of accountability followed? Then I applaud that you have a funded budget, well done. But how many cases with adverse findings had you had in the past financial years? I've got a lot more questions, but I'll keep it for a second round. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you. Honorable Spies.
Morning, Chair. I'm still en route, so I'm going to keep my video off.
Okay.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Okay, thank you, Chair. Chair, I only have 2 questions. Mine is with regards to charges that were laid in terms of the violation of Section 107 of the National Environmental Management Act. That was a charge that was laid with the Green Scorpions with regards to neglected sewer system, which continues to pollute the environment around Lepelle-Nkumpi municipality. Raw effluent spillage is in both in Ward 15 next to a very busy business area of it's a popular spot for residents. It is posing a health risk for the residents of Ward 15 and to the people also utilizing the center. Then in Ward 4, there's also raw sewage effluent runs along the road, which passes in front of the Zebedila Hospital. And it also flows on into an open area in the village of Magatle, where it also poses a health risk to residents there and their livestock. Then, Chair, there is a dilapidated structure which seems as if it was used, if we intended as a sewer plant, but it's incomplete and it's left open. And the Lebo Wakakomo sewage plant project commenced many years ago, but remains incomplete. Raw effluent also flows into an open space in the village of Ma, where livestock graze and drink from the stream. And I would like to know what is the status of this and what is it that the municipality is going to do about that. Then also there is a wastewater plant also that I've mentioned in Lebo Wakakomo. Sorry if I don't pronounce it correctly. It's now been incomplete for years. And I would like to know what is the delay and what is the expected date of completion. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you very much. Now let's move to Honorable Simango.
Thank you very much, Honorable Chair. Greetings to the colleagues and also greetings to all the presenters that have made presentations here. and those presentations are highly acknowledged. I want to start, Chair, by asking a question from a provincial, Coghsta, and Treasury. One, the municipality reportedly spent 7 million and 4.7 million in consultants. That was in the year 2019, 2020, and 2021, respectively. And that was in connection with the preparation of annual financial statements. But however, Chair, on their report or in their presentation on slide 12, it then comes back and say the money then went up to 72.2 million. Now I want to check what is the reason of this amount, because for me it doesn't make sense. I mean, from 7 million. The 2021, 2020, 2019, 2020, and 4.7 million in 2020, 2021. And then the year later, you come back and spend 72 million. I mean, we need to get a reason for this so that we are able to understand as to the spending patterns. The other matter, Chair, that I want to raise, when the municipality appeared in the portfolio committee previously, it had a clear financial recovery plan, which is in line with section 142. And I believe if they had implemented that recovery plan, they would be in a better position by now. I want to check as to what happened to that recovery plan. Are they still with it? Are they still intending to make sure that they implement it to the latter, so that we are able to make sure that we see a significant improvement? And I believe that will also help them. But also they had presented a plan that says they are going to do skills audit, so that they understand the skills they have within their municipality. I want to know, did that skills audit take place? Does the municipality know as to what type of skills do they have right now in order to make sure that they perform their duties as planned? And then the last one would be, in 2021, the municipality had 0 audit finding, but in the year 2021, 2022, the municipality found itself with 73 audit findings. I also want to know what are the reasons for this, but also do we have a plan as the municipality to make sure that we don't find ourselves in this situation? I want to end, Chair, with a positive note by saying we have noticed that your MPEC is reportedly working and it's functional. And I want to say big ups for that. But 2, you are operating on a funded budget. And I want to also say big ups for that. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Honorable Mpumza.
Thank you, Chairperson of the Portfolio Committee, and good morning to you, colleagues, the MECs, and the mayors, both that of the district and local, inclusive of their troikas, the senior management of the Department of Coghsta, the province and local, as well as the SALGA leadership. Noting the accolades that my colleague had actually expressed around some little good work being done since the time we were in that municipality in 2019. Remember, the situation was not that good. And you could see that around service delivery, really, matters were worse. Chair, mine would be that first and foremost, since 2018, 2019 financial year up to now, is reported by Coghsta and Treasury that the municipality had been seriously underspending on the conditional grants, in particular MIG, of which the municipality, its basic existence is to provide basic services as instructed by the Constitution in a sustainable manner to communities. And in particular, the Constitution is instructive that municipalities must promote safe and healthy environment. Now, all that period, up to now, this municipality has been underspending in that particular area. The Municipal Finance Management Act makes clear provisions for rigorous monitoring and rigorous reporting. So Section 71 reports, I hope this municipality had been generating, since that financial year had been generating those reports, let alone the accuracy and the timeliness of those reports. But they had been, as instructed by law, generating those reports to Provincial Treasury and the Coghsta. And it is their legal responsibility to assess those particular reports and begin to see the state of financial management or financial position in relation to expenditure. Now, getting those reports, what have been the province, Coghsta and Treasury doing in complying with the provisions of the Constitution that they must, it's a must, not may, must support and build the capability of these municipalities by legislative and other means to ensure that they actually perform to the optimum. In view that they have been getting these reports, what has the province done since the financial year 2018 and 19 up to now to ensure that the municipality is expanding on the MIG grants? So there are no monies that are being returned to the Treasury instead of benefiting the communities. So, which is a valid test. Why communities have been protesting? So they have not been receiving services. What has the province been doing to ensure that this situation from that time is corrected? Secondly, Chair, the report from the province tells us that there's never been a community feedback meetings. They have not been happening. But the mayor in the turnaround plan, I want to correct whether is that state still obtaining or that situation had been obtaining. Now the mayor, because the mayor is saying that in a report that public participations are effective and they have imbizos and the cow outreach and all that. Now, can we be made to understand whether this contradiction does exist or is a matter of some time which had actually changed now? Again, a mayor of the district and local, it is your responsibility to provide strategic leadership at all times is your function. Now we are reported that high vacancies have been existing in this particular municipality at a senior management level in very critical positions. whether it's related to governance or service delivery or financial management. And again, one other matter here that is indicated is that that municipality is limping, because the report indicates that there is absence of supply chain and contract management unit in the municipality. Is that position still standing, Mayor, or is it a better, as per your report, which has now changed now? Because I don't foresee a municipality being run without supply chain management and contract management, because it means that how do you go about procuring services and service providers and contractors for you to ensure that you provide services to the communities? And one other thing is that, to me, Mayor, and the MEC Coghsta, there seems to be no sense of urgency in making sure that there is no vacancy at senior management level. One vacancy of the CFO is a qualifying factor for your audit outcomes. For a month not to have a CFO is a serious matter. You know this thing of we must not actually enjoy ourselves in this acting, because somebody in an acting capacity does not take decisive decisions. So we must not replace ensuring a stable senior management by acting, because that does not give us a sense of prudence in actually doing function. Thanks, Chair.
Thank you, Honorable Hadebe.
Thank you, Chair. I'm still load shedding, so bear with me if I don't show my face. A voice is a proof of life. Most of my questions have been asked, but let me amplify on the question raised by Honorable Msimang in relation to 70-odd million spent on consultancy. When I was listening to the presenter, I think he made mention that that figure is all inclusive, including construction work and other stuff. Can we get a breakdown of the 72 million? Which aspect was it used for? Our keen interest is on the percentage or the actual value of consultants in relation to preparation of annual financial statements and matters related to audit. We want that value. But while we're waiting for the breakdown, which can be submitted earlier on, we'll just need to get a clarity, Chair. How much was it spent on the actual work that pertains to auditing? And whether or not there are terms of reference and expected outcomes with those consultants. I'm raising this question based on the fact that the audit outcome has regressed. The second question, it's in relation to the protests that have taken place. I think the mayor mentioned about 6 in the last 6 months, and also indicated that now there are mandatory meetings, community feedback meetings, quarterly, as well as councillors giving feedback meetings on a monthly basis to what committees are fully functional. But that, as Honorable Mpumza has correctly pointed out, the contradiction between her report and that of the department. So, Chair, in this regard, if they can assist us with the schedule of meetings. I know when I was still a councillor, we would advertise meetings, have venue, time and agenda, and we share that information with the speaker. So it should be easy to have the schedule of meetings where councillors have report back to.
Who is speaking now? Can that one hold on? Honorable Hadebe, continue.
Thank you. Yes, so I'm requesting for the schedule of meetings to get a sense of how many meetings have been convened. This is premised on the fact that as public reps, we are elected to represent the people. We are the voice of the people in council. Now, when you have protest action that are raising issues of information, when is this project starting, the issues of service delivery, that speaks to a council detached of the people they ought to be representing. So my request is premised on that aspect, Chair. We need to get a sense whether or not indeed they are representing the people and they are giving feedback and they're taking mandate from the people in relation of what needs to be done. The other important aspect, Chair, what committees are the eyes and ears of the councillor within the ward, and they also need to play a certain role. Are these ward committees effective? The sectors that are forming part of these ward committees, are they also assisting ward councillors in giving feedback to the community? Do councillors, when they convene these ward committee meetings, request reports from the sectors represented in the ward committees? Do they understand whether or not these sectors do engage with their constituency and give feedback, or they just come without any mandate, sit in ward committee meetings and go back? Lastly, Chair, the over-reliance on audit processes to correct financial misstatement. When is the municipality intending to completely eradicate the over-reliance on audit process to submit statements that are in line with the script of auditing? Because as things stand, we are told that you are relying on audit processes to correct your misrepresentation on other aspects. Even that, you are not completely giving a correct reports, even after having been given an opportunity to rectify some of the issues. So we need to get a sense, do you have a time period where you say, we are hoping that at the next 2 financial years, we will be able to do our work independently, and we are guaranteed that we will be on our own and not submit substandard information when it comes to auditing processes, Chair. There's this one question that has slipped my mind now. No, it's okay. If we have a second round, I will try and refresh my memory. There was just one question that I wanted to ask, Chair, but it's fine. You can proceed. Thank you so much, Honorable Chairperson.
Thank you, Honorable Hadebe. I see a hand here of, I would imagine is an observer in the meeting. So we are still recognizing members of the portfolio committee. Can I skip that one? Move to Honorable Mkalipi.
Oh, Chair, I'm sorry, I've remembered my question, if you don't mind, Chair.
I remind.
It's not a shout down when I wait.
Yeah. No, it's fine. If she doesn't mind, if she minds, you'll come after her.
He must attack, Chair. Let us hear him.
Yeah, but thank you, Chair. It's in relation to Section 32 of the Municipal Finance Management Act. We had Bowman was appointed to investigate. We did not get a detailed picture of those that were taken to discipline. I had just one official was expelled, one suspended. Can we get a breakdown and a detailed information in relation to those investigations? Two, we need to understand whether there were any condonation in line with Section 32. Who were the officials involved? And what is concerning, Chair, is that there's still an outstanding of about 300 million and UIF that have not been investigated. What's taking this long? What are the terms of reference with Bowman in dealing with this? Why is the slow process in dealing with this UIF? So I need an all-encompassing detailed process of the investigation and outcome and officials involved, whether or not, so that we can be able to gauge whether or not everything was done in terms of Section 32. Ngiyabonga Mkhaliphi mngani wami. Thank you, Chair.
Honorable Mkhaliphi.
Thank you very much, Chairperson. We welcome all the presentation. And I must say that, Chair, some of the questions my colleagues have covered it. But nevertheless, Chair, there are just few that I need a clarity from. And the one of service delivery protest that has been emphasized by my colleagues here, Babu Mpumza and the member Hadebe. According to the report now in this municipality, the mayor must clarify, because we are getting some positive news that suggests that there's stable and political, in terms of political infighting in the municipality. But the service delivery that is outside, does it have a link with this politically instability and infighting that sometimes took place in the municipality? If yes, how do you address this? Because once we are not stable enough, definitely sure it's going to escalate to the community as it is happening now. I think this question, it also goes to the to the mayor as well as the Coghsta in the province. How do they plan to deal with this situation? That is one. The other one is the one that Member Peggy Hadebe was also alluding to, that fact regards to the UIF that is not investigated. But according to our reports here, the MPEG is reportedly that is functioning now. So far, we have 38 reports, but it's also not in consistency with what we are receiving here in terms of no investigation that is taking place. And that's where some of the corruption is rooted within the UIF. If it's taking too long to be investigated, that one needs to be explained. Why is taking too long to be explained? Because it also linked to the service protest. If this UIF is not investigated and the public is not aware why is not investigated and what happened, what are the consequences in terms of that UIF, is we are going to experience the protest, because it means there is no service delivery that is taking place within the municipality. During the presentation, I think I heard something like that the departments are owing the municipality something like 36 million, but 25 million are in disputes. And the presenter didn't clarify that point. If 25 million, Chairperson, is in disputes, what is the way forward? Or how are we going to ensure that money is being recovered? I think it's linked with that of UIF. It seems as if there's no appetite, because you can't just tell us that out of 36 million there is owed that could assist the municipality. 25 million is in dispute, and that's it. And again, in terms of the AG's report, the municipality has regressed. If we can also get that clarity, what does that mean in terms of your plans as the municipality? Because the report suggested that when we visited you there in 2019, Lepelle-Nkumpi, was one of the first municipality that had an administrative leadership with a clear plans of actions toward the transformation of the municipality towards a full functional institution following that loss of 150 million. But now, if the AG is saying that, no, in fact, you are regressing in terms of receiving a clean audit, what happened to your clean plans? I was listening to the mayor here, and I was happy to learn that the mayor is Imbokodo. And I know when Imbokodo is tasked with a responsibility, they excel. But now, can we clarify us with that clear plan, what happens to your clear plans, why you have regressed? And I'm not going to repeat what my colleagues Msimanga and Hatebe have asked, because one of our main problems or concern as a committee since day one, since we are dealing with municipality, is this consultants that are taking a lot of money. With your clear plans that you once share with us as in the committee, what is your plan to capacitate the municipality? Because as much as Honorable Hatebe saying that the presenter correctly says that consulted, it includes the engineers and so on. We need a breakdown of that, but it remains consultants. It means that most of the work are outsourced. It means that this 72 million that is reported here, that has gone to consultant, could have been saved. And also the local people could have managed to get jobs, because the unemployment is also too high in South Africa. Is the only SALGA chair, if I was listening very carefully, who came here and said, no, they are happy because there was some figure that suggested that has been, at least the money has been recovered. But the most of the presenters are painting another picture because of those money that is mentioned here of 390 million on regular expenditure. So if the presentation is not clear, we are very interested to know what this UIF that is not investigated, because the next question will be, after investigation, what are the consequences? Is anyone have been arrested? Because at least the report also suggests that the municipality was very much active in terms of reporting the crime that is taking place in the municipality. And then the issue of the which is still vacant, Chair. Correctly, so Babu Mpumza said, if we are going to have acting as if we are in a Hollywood, people who are in acting position, they don't have powers to take decisions. So for how long? Maybe the province can come in to assist, as well as the department itself. How are you intervening in terms of assisting this municipality, not to have these Hollywood actors in the municipality? Those are the few questions, Chair. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Honorable Mpumza. Is that a legacy hand or?
No, it's not a legacy, Chair.
Come in.
Chair,
You
I
are
remember at the time of our oversight visit to Limpopo, we targeted at the time municipalities that were implicated in the VPS saga. And Lepelle-Nkumpi municipality is one amongst those. Could we be clarified as to whether the monies that were invested in the VPS bank that actually was liquidated had been retrieved by the municipality? And what consequence management were effected on the officials that were involved? Could we be supplied with a detailed report in that particular regard? Because the current government is determined and is embarked on rooting out corruption and corrupt practices. At the same time, Chair, The draft 2019 Financial Recovery Plan, which was presented to the Portfolio Committee, we noted that the municipality needs to conduct a comprehensive skills audit and a competency assessment to determine the levels of skills, knowledge, and competency in order to ensure that the municipality is financially viable institution. Has this financial recovery plan been effected, and to what extent? What is the municipality done to obtain licensing permission to distribute electricity within its area as to improve its revenue and income streams, Chair? Thank you.
Very much. Maybe, Honorable Opperman.
Chairperson, thank you. I'll be quickly. I just want to know, their top government debtor is Public Works. Now, the Department Public Works doesn't want to pay for the unregistered government properties which belongs to them. I want to know, when will it be registered or transferred? And then my last question is, you had 2 schools that was in areas that you disconnected. Why must the learner suffer for the department's debt? They have discussions ensued with the Department of Education, and what were the outcomes? Thank you, Chairperson.
Thank you very much. I would love to address those who raised their hands, who are not necessarily members, who I assume are members of the public who have got interest here. Would suggest, because the committee meeting is open, that they write their messages in the chat group. Such questions or messages would be responded to, would relay them to whoever we should respond to. It's very difficult to control a meeting in this platform. But equally, the Constitution guides us that we should allow people to participate. But I would suggest that let's participate in that fashion. Let's get messages like this one that we got that said they want the presentations shared with them. We are looking at that. Can I now allow responses? We start with you, MEC, for Coghsta, and then you guide your team at the level of the province, specifically responding to any questions that were directed to yourselves. Over to you, MEC.
Thanks, Chair. Let me also apologize. I have got the load shedding where I am here now. My video remained because I may lose you the moment I take my video. As it comes back, I will show my face so that people can attach the voice and the face of the MEC in the province. Thanks very much, Honorable Chair, on the matters that have been raised. I think the majority of them will want more details from the municipality. I think the team from the municipality will come in handy. There is one I think I should take as a lead, and after that I will give, under your guidance, the HOD Coghsta and the HOD Treasury to lead, and then from there we'll hand over to the district and the local mayor will come. Is the issue of political stability that is here now vis-a-vis the service delivery, because they don't necessarily talk to each other, and I think I must answer. When the municipality was categorized at the one major issue was political instability in the municipality. It was before 2021 local government elections. it was towards that elections, and I think colleagues here, my members of the portfolio committee will know the anxiety that will have political office bearers towards election, that they will find their own space. But since the 2021 local government elections, the PMT and the EXCO in the municipality has been working harmoniously so to handle issues. Hence, the support the mayor will get in running a particular program was supported by PMT and the Executive Council committees members. And that has brought in a number of areas, but areas like the one that Honorable Speech have raised about the environmental issues. It's a matter that was also brought to us at Coghsta level. We're working with that to try to support and the district in making sure that the spillage of sewage to the river, because it has also affected the Department of Agriculture, wherein farmers around that area, especially the subsistence farmers, were no longer allowing their cattle to go and have water in that river because of the challenge. So it's a matter that has been elevated. We are working together to support the district and the municipality in trying to resolve the issue. The number of areas about what are we doing, because the province was hit with the VBS SALGA. I must take responsibility to say we have the detailed report, and I think the HOD for Coghsta can be able to submit that report, wherein we are continuing to update even the legislature on actions and what are we doing with the those people who were involved in the VBS investment. We are also trying every time an appointment has to be done in a municipality. We advise municipalities of such that a question should be made out of that, of those people who are still facing disciplinary process. But we are also working with the law enforcement agencies. You might have seen other people are being arrested as we are going on, and we are supporting that work with our reports that the provincial government has conducted in all the municipalities that invested in VBS. So we are working very well with the law enforcement agencies in trying to do that, but keep on updating that report which we have, which we are also updating the legislature on the actions that are being taken with regard to the investment to the VBS. I just wanted to give this summary from I think we have captured all the questions and we will be able to deal with them as a team from the province, starting from the HOD, if you allow, Coghsta, HOD, Pratt, the district, the local municipality, and SALGA would be the last if they have got anything to handle their issues. I may not talk to the AG, you will be able to guide them to deal with the issues that affects them. Let me allow the HOD for Coghsta to be the first, and then allow the HOD for Treasury to come in.
Thank you very much, Honorable MEC, and good morning to Honorable Chair and members of the Portfolio Committee, the Executive Mayor, the Mayor, and colleagues on the platform. It's Mujaji Malakela, HOD Coghsta. Apologies, Chair, that I'll struggle also because of the connectivity this side. Apologies not to put my camera on, but I'll try later when it stabilizes. There were a number of questions that I will talk to the others. My colleague HOD Pratt from Treasury will then respond to. The first one is a question asked by both Honorable Mkhaliphi and Honorable Opperman relating to the government debt. Maybe just to give a little bit of a background, Limpopo is relatively a rural province, and in a number of municipalities, we find that the land is not yet registered either in the provincial name, but is still with the national government. Now, in such pieces of land, that's where we also do have a number of our public infrastructure, whether in the form of government offices or schools and so on. And that is where the issue around the dispute comes in. The dispute is...
Sorry, HOD. Chair, can I?
Honorable Mpumza, yes.
The face of the HOD. Can we see the face of the please?
I think she has heard you. She did explain whatever that she will show later. But I think she can hear you. If you are able, HOD, can you please do that?
Chair, I was just worried, apologies, because of the network is a little bit unstable this side. So my worry was that maybe it might then disturb me as I'm responding. I hope I can still be able to continue despite the weak network. As I was saying, so where we have the disputes, it's not because the provincial government is disputing that we do not necessarily owe them money, but it's because when you go back to the Municipal Property Rates Act, you can only pay property rates on an area that you own. Now, because these properties are not yet registered in the name of the provincial department, it becomes a challenge to pay because then it also attracts an audit query. We have indicated on the presentation, there is a provincial project that is currently underway. Actually, Limpopo is a pilot where we are also supported by the National Department of Public Works, where surveyors have been appointed to then work on the transfer of the property so that they are duly registered in the provincial government's name. And once that is concluded, we'll then be able to pay those property rates. And the question from Honorable Nkumpi was, when are we intending to conclude the whole process? In terms of the project plan, we should conclude the project by May 2023. And once that is concluded, we'll then be able to then pay in terms of those areas, because we are also aware of the impact that these debts, not only in Lepelle-Nkumpi, but in a number of our municipalities that are predominantly rural in nature, its impact on the financial viabilities of such municipalities. So the project is currently under implementation, and we are hopeful that by the end of the next financial year, we should have moved significantly in terms of dealing with government debts. On services, we don't have any debts because there are no disputes, but it's only on the property rates because of the issue around the registration of the properties. The second issue that was raised by Honorable Nkumpi was on terms of the vacancies and what is it that we're doing at senior management level. And I also do think that when the mayor was presenting, also spoke at length about it. The position of the municipal manager has been filled. They do have a municipal manager. They had resignations of the CFO planning early this year. But they also had started with the recruitment process. Unfortunately, because the targeted, if I must use that word, or the candidates that actually had fared well, unfortunately during the competency assessment, because they obtained basic, and in terms of the regulations on the appointment of senior managers, it says a candidate who scores basic is deemed as not appointable. So the municipality has then had to restart the recruitment process in order to get competent personnel to come and fill those vacancies. So that is the reason there has been a delay. We are confident that if it was not because of that delay, the picture would be looking different in terms of the vacancies, particularly at senior management level. There was also a question on the expenditure on MIC, the poor expenditure on MIC. Indeed, the municipality had not been spending very well. And in the main, the root cause has been the late appointment of contractors. What one can say has been in terms of your forward planning. What we'd find was that if you start to contract in the year where you're going to implement, but also coupled with a number of delays before the actual award, their projects started quite late. And that is also one of the things that the mayor in the presentation did allude to as part of planning for the coming financial year, to make sure that in terms of appointment, they will then conclude that on time, because unless that is dealt with, the issue of forward planning and procuring on time, particularly before the end of the financial year, so that by the time you get into a new financial year, you have already appointed, then we will then have a situation of poor expenditure. So in the main, in our assessment, that has been the root cause. The support that has been provided, as indicated in the presentation, MISA has seconded official to support there. We also have colleagues from Coghsta, from the Municipal Infrastructure Development Unit, that are also working very closely with the municipality as part of the support to ensure that they do implement and can spend better on the budget. The other issue also raised by Honorable Mpumza was around the contradiction in the report from Coghsta versus the report from the municipality around community feedback sessions. Our monitoring is on a quarterly basis, so this will be the report as at December in terms of community feedback meetings, December 2021. Sorry, apologies, December 2022. Now, one of the things that we would have struggled with if there were other meetings that could have been held that time is that when we were doing assessment and getting all those MOVs, we were not able to get that. But as Honorable Adeb also had actually requested the municipality, is that if there are all those MOVs in the form of your schedules and all other related documents that can help. But I'm sure the municipality can then talk to what has happened now between January and where we are in terms of the community feedback sessions that are indeed quite important because then they keep communities abreast in terms of what are the roles and what are the projects that the municipality is implementing in that space. The last question that I had noted, okay, it's a repeat question, was also raised by Honorable Khadebe, was also on the feedback meetings. I'll then request my colleague HOD Pratt to then talk to the figures as it relates to the usage of consultants and other related financial matters. Thank you very much.
Thanks again, and thank you, Chair, through you. I'll try and respond to some of the issues. I think the property rates issue has been spoken to. The unregistered property is the issue. And there is that project underway in the province to try and get some resolution around that going forward. And we will obviously work closely with the Surveyor-General and the surveyors that have been appointed to deal with the actual properties. I think the other issue, just on the consultants, yes, Chair, as I did report, the 21-22 figure included all consultants. But just for the committee, then about 1.460 million was used for AFS related issues in that year, and we will provide a detailed breakdown of the full consultants. They report to us monthly. As in the province, we've got a Premier's announced to reduce it by 60%, and we're trying to implement that accordingly, and they need to report to us monthly on what consultants have been used for what particular area of work and what function they then performed, including engineering works. And I think the vacancy rate then also adds to that spend on consultancy, and we need to address those filling of the posts, as was also spoken to by the HOD. I think then just on the VBS, maybe just to give you a little bit of an update, I think as MEC said, we'll give a full report. The liquidator paid out around 7 cents to the rand to our municipalities in their first liquidation distribution. A case has been opened with the Hawks, and we do have the case number, and they are obviously investigating this matter further. And you may have seen in the press that some arrests have been made, maybe not in this particular municipality, but in others. The MM and CFO resigned before any disciplinary action could be taken, but the municipality did open a civil claim in the Polokwane High Court, and summons were issued against the two officials. So we obviously need to just see how that goes through the courts, but certainly the matter is with the Hawks for further investigation. I'm just trying to just check here, Chair, if there's any other particular for me. I think the mixed spending, yeah, maybe just on the assistance that we provide on mixed spending, I think actually Coghsta should have spoken to it, but we do have the municipal infrastructure support team also that we then give to Lepelle-Nkumpi, noting the vacancies that are there. And Coghsta itself provides support on infrastructure, particularly around the planning and the project management, to try and assist the municipality to spend. But it comes back to municipality again, having to fill those particular posts to make sure that we do have that continuity in the municipality. And I think more a hands-on approach in the municipality. But from a provincial perspective, we have certainly provided support, and hopefully that will start showing improvements. Chair, I think those are the two that I needed to respond to. If there are others, we will come back. Thanks, Chair.
Thanks. Can we move to, is it AG, if there's any question for AG? No, you can continue. It doesn't
Thank you very
matter.
much. My name is Councillor Mamidu Bitefo, the Executive Mayor for Capricorn District Municipality. I think the HUD tried to respond to part of the question, particularly on the spillage of our waste into the river. I will also try to respond to the question, particularly the questions which were raised by Honorable Oppenman on the reduction of the backlog, particularly on sanitation. Well, Capricorn District Municipality is predominantly rural. So a municipality that is reliant on grant. And I must also indicate that as I presented, I indicated that the reason for our huge backlog is because of lack of funding. As I speak now, we are receiving MIG yearly of 270 million. So it becomes difficult for us to be able to provide the much needed services to our community with the budget that we are receiving for the whole district. And remember, we're also providing water for the local municipality, that is Mulemule, the Lepelle-Nkumpi municipality, and Blouberg municipality. And part of our problem is that the two municipalities, which is Mulemule and Blouberg, which we are not focusing on, I'm just giving you a background so that you understand, is that we are still relying on underground water. We don't have surface water. Only part of Lepelle-Nkumpi is receiving surface water. So for us to be able to completely eradicate the backlog on sanitation around Lepelle-Nkumpi municipality, we will need a budget of around 254.7 for Lepelle-Nkumpi alone. And I've also indicated that currently we have made technical reports which have been approved as feasible for implementation by the Department of Water Sanitation, which will then require us around 3 billion for us to be able to deal with issues of sanitation in the district and issues of water in the district. But and if you check also, Lepelle-Nkumpi, though we're not doing enough, but it's at the top because the access is 21.1% as compared to the two local municipalities. Because with Lepelle-Nkumpi for the previous 2 years, we have also been providing MIG and also we seek to be able to reduce sanitation. But we have then develop a revenue enhancement strategy wherein we are indicating that we do not want to be a municipality which solely relies on grant. So we are busy with the project of provision of prepaid meters around the district municipality so that we deal with the culture of non-payment of services with the hope that with the money that we receive, we will be able to augment our grant so that we add more allocation and also the reduction of backlog on sanitation. And the other question which was also raised was in relation to the 24 megaliter which we get from Lepelle Northern Water. But let me firstly also indicate that it's not only that our community of Lepelle-Nkumpi are receiving from the 24 megaliters. We are also having our own source in the form of boreholes around Lepelle-Nkumpi municipality. Hence, when I presented two big projects around the area of Lepelle-Nkumpi municipality. The other one, which was of a tune of 171 million, and the other one of a tune of 126 million in the past 3 financial year. And those projects, I've indicated that they are at 90% completion stage. So these are our projects. These are the sources from the municipality, from the boreholes, which are then going to augment the water that we're getting. Even now, we are providing water through the boreholes. But just to also respond directly to the question in relation to as to when would the Oliphant sport pipeline be completed. Well, Lepelle-Northern Water is anticipating that the upgrading of the water treatment plant by 60 megaliter, which is going to benefit Lepelle-Nkumpi municipality and part of Polokwane municipality of a tune of 8.5 billion. And phase 1 will be upgraded according to them by August 2026. And they are also indicating now that project design are done and currently on the on tender for refurbishment, which is closing on the 31st March 2023. So that is the part of Lepelle and Northern Water to augment the 24 megaliter that we are receiving from Lepelle. But from the municipality side, we are providing water to Lepelle-Nkumpi municipality. In addition to what has been responded to, particularly on the wastewater treatment and the spillage, we have indicated on our report that indeed the state of sewer in our municipality is very bad, particularly that one of wastewater treatment around Limpopo area. And yes, of course, there were plans initially of the municipality of partnering with Lone Min Mine to upgrade the sewer. As you are aware, the sewer is currently it has a capacity of 3 megaliters, but we are currently operating at a capacity of 7 megaliters, which we are operating above capacity. But then Lone Min Mine has since withdrawn. So as I speak now through the DDM model and with the assistance of the political champion, the Deputy Minister for Public Services, Dr. Chana, we were able, and also the Deputy Minister for Department of Water and Sanitation, were able to combine a team both from Department of Water and Sanitation and Department and of course the district municipality to do new technical report, which we have submitted with the hope that we will be assisted with the funding of RBIC so that we are able to then upgrade this sewer as a matter of agency, particularly to the capacity of 15 megaliter, and also improve also the state of the sewer. We're also in this case assisted by the Provincial Coghsta. Thank you. I think those were the questions which were forwarded, which were directly related to the district municipality. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Can we move to the local municipality if there are any other issues from elsewhere? We also have a question from, in fact, Coghsta for now is delinked, is disconnected. They will come in. Can we move to the local municipality? Honorable Mayor. Mayor of Lepelle-Nkumpi municipality. Or MM, anybody who is available, deal with your questions. Yes. Unmute. You are still muted. Please unmute. No, we can't hear you. Yes, we can hear some sound now. Still muted. No, we can't hear. Unmute. Yes, we can hear you. You can continue.
Oh, you can hear me?
Yes,
Okay.
yes.
Thank you.
Thank
All
you.
right. I'm with the chairperson of MPEC. I think you will follow once I'm done. I will start with the question relating to the financial recovery plan that the municipality has developed. And we are saying, yes, indeed, we are currently implementing the financial recovery plan. And part of us implementing, we have also reviewed the revenue enhancement strategy, and we are also partially implementing it. And we have also developed our cost containment policy, which we are currently implementing. And also we reviewed our investment policy to ensure that we avoid the problems that we previously experienced relating to VBS. And also that as part of council going out to the people to encourage them to pay, we have developed a program which will start in April this financial year to conduct some road shows where we will be meeting with our communities, encouraging them to pay their accounts, as the mayor has already indicated, to also take advantage of the incentives that council has approved to ensure that they clear their accounts with the discounts that are provided. And also that we are currently also reviewing the lease agreements with the leases to ensure that they are market related. And lastly, that in terms of recovering the money from VBS, we managed to receive 10.5 million to date. There was another question relating to the regression from unqualified to qualified. Yes, I think the capacity challenges have been indicated from all the provincial government departments, including CDM. And indeed, as the municipality at the time of the development of the AFSs, the incumbent, who was the CFO at that time, was also acting as the municipal manager. And that, in a way, took most of her focus to be more involved into municipal manager responsibilities. And that somehow derailed her from focusing on the review of the AFSs before they were submitted. And I think that will improve as we go along, because we have learned lessons that we need to ensure that we have got a dedicated person, and also the assistance of a service provider that we are still going to secure to help us just to cross in this coming financial year. And we hope that by that time, we shall have appointed the CFO, because the recruitment process is now underway, and our plan is to ensure that the appointment process is finalized by June 2023. On the question on the 72 million that has been reported as the money that we expended for consultants, on this one, I think we will go back and unbundle the amount, and because it also includes the infrastructure implementation of projects. Therefore, I think in the unbundlement, we'll be able to share with you in terms of how much went to what as we were implementing. But then when it comes to the compilation of the AFSs, we only used 1.2 million in 2021-2022 to pay for the services of the service provider who assisted us. The other question was around the salary bill, which according to the initial report, I think it was reported as 40%. But in terms of our current status, we are at 34.13% for 2022-2023. And the budget indications already indicate that as we move into the new financial year of 2023-2024, we will be at 35.76%, which is still within the norm. Okay. I think the other issue was in relation to the progress in the investigations of unauthorized expenditure for 2021-22. We're saying on this one, it was mainly non-cash items, which amounts to 14.1 million, and that the irregular expenditure is still in progress in relation to investigation, and it's 8.6 million. The UIFW expenditure, which was investigated by Bowmans and has been completed, the irregular was 29.9 million, and then wasteful expenditure is 16.9 million. And these cases have been reported with SAPS, and we hope that the outcome of the SAPS process will inform whether we'll be able to recover or not. On consequence management, we have got a register in terms of the employees that are affected. I think we can also share with the portfolio committee, because that information is a bit sensitive. And the report will also outline the progress made case by case. Okay, I think I will hand over to the chairperson of MPEC to respond to some of the questions.
Greeting to the chairperson of the portfolio committee and the members of portfolio committee. Mine, I'm just going to respond to one question that has been asked. The question was that how many cases were referred to Financial Misconduct Board. As of now, as of today, we referred 15 cases to the Financial Misconduct Board. That's all I can respond. Thanks.
I'm also going to answer the question of schedule of meetings held by what committees or.
Continue, yes.
Good day, Honorable Member of Parliament, Mrs. Executive Mayor, and the Chief Whip. I'm Joyce Ngwarela, the Speaker of Lepelle-Nkumpi Municipality. I'm going to answer the question on the issue of committees and community meetings. We have a schedule of community meetings and all committees that have been adopted by Council on the 30th of June 2022. And in each and every day that we on the schedule, we are sending some of our staff members.
Your network is not that good. Can you switch off your video? Impossible, we'll hear you. You are breaking. Can you
hear me?
It's still difficult. I don't know what is happening. Can you
it's my network.
It's your network.
Yeah, my network is bad.
But we can hear you now. Try.
Okay. I was saying, I was still indicating that on the 30th of June 2022, we, as the council, adopted the schedule of community meetings and the schedule of all committee meetings. And in order for us to monitor if our councillors are going according to the schedule, we are sending our officials from council support to go and be the observers.
You are no longer, but maybe in the meantime, can I indicate another question for the municipality. A message written by Chief Mphahlele from Tuseng village in Lepelle, which falls within the jurisdiction of Lepelle-Nkumpi municipality. He just wants to know the current position of the Lepelle-Nkumpi municipal SDF regarding township formalization in rural areas. Honorable Mayor, if you have any response to that. Honorable Mayor, or any relevant person who can indicate the position of the Lepelle-Nkumpi municipal SDF regarding township formalization in rural areas. It's a question from Chief Mphahlele. It looks like there's nobody from the local municipality. I'm not sure if Coghsta, Honorable Mayor. Again, the same problem. Can you please unmute? There was a sound. I'm not sure if you are unmuted. No, we can't hear you. Where is that assistant? Yes, please.
Okay, thank you, Chairperson.
Thank you.
We have noted the question because the SDF that we have as the municipality is a wall-to-wall. It covers the whole municipal jurisdictional area of Lepelle-Nkumpi. But in our plans, we don't have a specific plan to develop townships in the rural areas. So I think we will try and link up with the chief to try and understand their perhaps concern in relation to township establishment. And then we'll be able to share the plans that we already have and the areas that we have earmarked for township establishment. Thank you.
Oh, thank you very much. We just wanted to make sure that this is communicated. The speaker, we could not hear anything from the speaker, but I'll go back now to honorable members. If there are any follow-ups, honorable members.
It's Honorable Hadebe, Chair.
Can you come in, Honorable Hadebe?
No, thank you, Chair. I would like to make a follow-up with specific reference to the MPEC chair, as he mentioned the number of 16 matters. Can I get a clear indication, Chair, in terms of the total reports that have been submitted to Council from MPEC? When were they submitted? How many reports have been successfully implemented? What's the current status of other reports and the overall number of meetings held by MPEC in dealing with these issues? Remember, I raised issue in relation to Section 32 of the Municipal Finance Management Act. So the response was not clear in that regard. So if the chair of MPEC can give us a sense of how many reports arising from their active engagement as a committee were submitted to council, and when were they submitted? Out of those that were submitted to council, how many have been successfully implemented? I did not, unfortunately, the Honorable Speaker, I could not hear when she was trying to respond to meetings. If she can find a suitable place or someone else can respond in relation to the activeness of what committees and the assistance thereof that is provided by those committees to councillors in trying to alleviate issues of unrest and unnecessary protest in the community. The question that was not answered, it's the reliance, Chair, on audit processes to produce credible financial statement. When is the municipality aiming to eradicate completely the reliance on audit processes to produce a credible and sound financial statement? Thank you. It's Honorable Hadebe with an H.
Okay, Honorable Msimango.
Thank you, Chair. Honorable Hadebe has covered the two. The only follow-up question which I did not manage to pick up the response around was the issue of the skills audit within the municipality as presented in 2019 in their financial plan recovery, in their financial recovery plan, which suggested that part of the things that they will be able to do, they will be able to do a skills audit so that they get to understand the capacity they have internally. And I think that will also be able to take us or to give us a sense of whether they are able to make sure that they will get rid of the consultants that they're currently using or not. Thank you.
Thank you. And then we'll rely on you, Honorable Mayor, to respond to some of the questions, and you can delegate, whether it's official or whoever, where you have a challenge. Honorable Mayor.
Thank you, Honorable Chair. Let me voice my apology. All my devices just got stuck. I had to move from one place to the other. At least I'm in my district office now. I can be able to hear properly. Thank you, and my apologies.
Okay.
I think the issue that has been raised by Honorable Hadebe in relation to the use of ward committees, we will accept that our ward committees are still new and they are still being inducted. They've just been inducted. There's another training that Coghsta is going to be having with them. But in terms of, we're expecting that once they are fully fledged, then they will be able to assist in terms of giving feedback to the community in assistance to the ward councillor. But what is happening is that the trend of the service delivery protests that are happening, you find that the ward councillor is having the sessions with the committee, then the committee just decide to to come to my office and say, the mayor, we need an answer from you, which sometimes it's a little bit of a problem, but we didn't have any. That's why when I was presenting, I was saying they are formal, those that have gone through the process of formalizing their request and formalizing their protest, and those that are informal. But what is happening is that once the councillor and the ward committee, they've got the sessions with them, they will still need some, maybe an assurance from the mayor. But normally, if it's a service delivery issue, I will send the EXCO member to go and deal with them. Then in some cases, if he's failing, then I will go and deal with them. Like to give an example of Ward 6. Ward 6, they were complaining to say, when is our project coming? That project is part and parcel of the IDP, but the project is not yet implemented because we have not yet appointed the service providers. Then they protest. They block the streets. then so that the mayor can come and explain why is the project not being done. And especially the protest of Ward 13 and 15, that one I said, it's an area that has been demarcated by the municipality as an urban area. Then now, through the Hoshi, they've given them land. Then with that land that they've given to them, then now they need the services. And then we were planning, when we were demarcating it as an urban area, we have even appointed developers to go and implement the services. But then there was a mix-up whereby the community, they got the stands, they bought the stands, and then they started residing. Then now the problem is, that area now, we're not even allocating it any funding. Then now they're coming to protest and say we need the resources. Then we said to them, let's go back to the scoring board. Where does the land belong to? And then if the land belongs to the municipality, how do we deal with it? Then we came up with a plan that is explaining the technical intervention that is supposed to happen before they can get, we can start allocating them for a service. Then the service delivery process, they vary. And in most cases, it's not a service. I think the previous years we had service delivery where people were needing some roads that were not even belonging to us, but they were belonging to the public works. And me and the MEC of public works, we have dealt with those situations. Even those projects now, they've been they are now at a planning stage. And normally when there's an issue like this one, we vary, the interventions vary because it depends on the issue that is on hand. Chairperson, you said I must reflect my face. This is my face. This is the mayor of the local municipality. Thank you. And then obviously the second one was the issue. Okay, this is the issue of the MPEC. The issue that obviously we're using the consultants to prepare the financial statement for the last financial year. I think it has been clarified in terms of the 72. I think it has been clarified that it's inclusive of other functions like the security, the designs of our infrastructure. But for this one in particular, we've spent 1.5, and obviously it means we must tighten our service level agreement with them to say your job is to produce a credible AFS. And if you have not produced a credible AFS, these are the penalties that will be coming, because it's for the first time that we're experiencing it. And obviously we're not tightened up in terms of that, but obviously we're it's part of the investigations that we have given to the internal to say, investigate that contract, how the issue of them not producing the final AFS that we're expecting, and then what kind of recourse can we have. And but that in future, we're going to make sure that obviously for this coming financial year, because we will be having the CFO towards the end, we will still rely on consultants because we need them to assist us and close the books, so that when the CFO comes in the next financial year and they start closing the books for the previous year, then that has been done. Obviously, this is I think the final year that we can be able to use the services, but we're going to tighten up our screws in relation to having a service level agreement that will ensure that if the end product is a credible AFS, it should be a credible AFS. If we're regressing, then there should be penalties. Then there's a question from Honorable Msimang in terms of the skills audit. Yes, we've done the skills audit as part of the workplace skills audit. We've done that. That in itself contributed a lot in terms of us developing the organogram. Because now when we did the skills audit with the existing, we realized that we've got some gaps in terms of even how we're responding, and that is we're responding in terms of our organogram, like in terms of technical, all the functional areas were lumped, whereby we're not expressing them to say from the road what is the value chain in terms of the functional areas of the road, like the planning, the implementation, and the O&M. And we have expressed that because after the skill audit that we have done, and that in itself It's even giving us, it has even allowed us to say, as an institution, your organogram is built, it's growing on top, and it is taking the final shape. It's not taking the pyramid shape, and the organogram should take the pyramid shape for us to be able to respond to a specific mandate, especially in terms of the O&M, because when coming to the issues here, consultants, reduction of consultants, we don't want any consultants at the O&M side, but we can still have them at the construction site, but then the planning, we do it ourselves. Then the construction site, we're still using the consultant. Then the operation and maintenance, we're using our own staff. And that is what is creating a shape in relation to our organogram. Thank you. I think I've responded to all the issues that have been raised.
Yes, thank you very much. Honorable members, we must, in fact, this is not the last time that we interact with the municipality, because it will always remain our responsibility to conduct oversight. But I think for now, we should be satisfied with what has happened. Any closing remarks, Honorable MEC?
Thanks, Honorable Chair. I've got, and thanks very much to all the members and the questions. This engagement will not just go without going to be followed up. All the questions members have raised, we will continue to utilize them to want to improve our support to the municipality. I said that together with MEC for Treasury in the province, we get worried about municipalities. We are trying our level best to try to improve. We are going to make it our business, HOD, Treasury and Coghsta, to make sure that we assist the municipality to quickly fill the senior management as a first step, trying to stabilize and increase our service delivery. We are worried about the mixed spending of the municipality. We have already had engagement with them. I think, Honorable Chair, it's just to thank the opportunity that you brought us together here, Treasury, Coghsta, District, local, SALGA, that it should be our business to make sure that we support the municipality so that the people of Lepelle-Nkumpi will ultimately receive service delivered like any other municipality. With this words, Honorable Chair, thanks very much for the opportunity.
Chair, Honorable MEC. Now I see a hand, which is it's a hand that if I follow it well, can we hear Honorable Unadi Matemi? I see that hand.
Chairperson, thank you very much. Thank you very much for allowing gate crashers. Chair, we appreciate the honor of being visited by the Portfolio Committee, MECs, Executive Mayor, and the Mayor. My contribution, Chair, shortly, as someone who lives here in Lepelle-Nkumpi. I've been living here since 1988. Submissions on paper are very beautiful, very convincing, Chairperson. I would humbly suggest that your good selves should make time. Come and see the state of decay in this municipality. Come and experience the smelling CBD. Come and experience the potholes. Come and experience the unhealthy relationships with the traditional leaders. The unhappiness here, Chairperson, honorable members, I think your good self should help government and preempt a very low turnout of voters in 2024, because the conditions we live in around here do not match the good submissions you have received this morning. We live with irregular supply of water and dirty water and irregular refuse removal. Thank you, Chairperson.
Can I disturb? Yes, I'm sorry. I didn't know that you are one of the observers. For purposes of consistency, I should have asked you to write your message so that then I can convey it to the rest. I think we would always want to engage communities as well as a portfolio committee, but in a properly organized meeting where we come directly to the constituency. I think the way it is written here, it didn't indicate who is speaking, but maybe unfortunately, you were weighty. That is why I recognized. So we don't expect responses. Can I, we have taken note of that in terms of your inputs. Can we close the meeting by saying, one, the information we received about the municipality, it was comprehensive from everybody. The commitment to say we want to turn around the situation, I think we noted that. And it is good that we hear what the other people are saying now, those who stay there. But let's say continue with the work that you are doing and focus on some of the areas that have been identified, especially those that talk to service delivery. I'm sure where you have had gaps and reports that you would want to submit to us, we are giving you 14 days to submit such. And I'm sure as you interact with our officials, they will also indicate whatever gaps that might be there. The meeting is, if there's nobody who will quarrel, is adjourned formally.
Thank you, Chair.